Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for being on time and joining us. I see you guys writing in the chat. We've got Portland, Oregon, Toronto, Boca Raton, my mother and my aunt, LA and Vegas, LA and Long Island. Thank you so much for showing up, and I cannot wait for us to get started for the July 2020 Digital Summit. And this will be the last one that we have until October 2020. So just checking. Give me a thumbs up or a yes in the chat if you can hear me and everything is going well. I'll turn on my camera in just a second. I want to run through this disclaimer to listen to your body. So listen to your body. If you experience faintness, dizziness, pain, or shortness of breath at any time, please stop. Listen to your body, all right? I want you guys to have a notebook nearby so you can take notes on things that you're not able to do yet, right? So there are things that you will be able to do someday. Take this as a learning experience because a lot of this stuff is very, very instructional. It's very technical and it will teach you a lot from each instructor with their own individual teaching style. Perfect, that you all can hear me, awesome. So make sure that you're cleared to do this type of exercise before starting and you're not injured in any way, and if you are, take it as a learning experience. And if you have any questions or need modifications, please, please, please type them in the chat because during each segment our instructors, I'll pop on with my face here now. Our instructors will be in the chat live during their segments. So how we do this is we have all of our instructors record their segments beforehand so that they can participate with you in the live chat while you're watching and doing all of their workouts. Because if they were doing it live with us, it would take away from the actual training to come back to the chat and then go back and teach something. So that's why we do it in this way. Perfect. Yay, Laura's in the house. Woot woot. Cool. So first up we have Meg, then we have Laura, then we have Kailey teaching press, then we have Megan, we have two Megans technically, and then we'll wrap it up with Alexis with stretching. So you're gonna get your heart rate up. I'm gonna warm you up. You'll get your heart rate up, and then you'll get into some mobility so you're nice and open. You'll work on some presses. You'll be a little bit tired, then you'll start to work on one arms. A lot of us, one arms will be a pretty advanced segment, so that will give you a chance to kind of rest after presses and then cool down with the stretching. Alexis is gonna bring the energy. She's got big energy at the end, so make sure you stay all the way to the end, and then I'll do a quick Q&A and wrap up at the end. So before we get started, a few housekeeping things. So I recommend you use your computer or you cast to a television. I tried to make all of the audio super loud this time because we've gotten feedback that it's hard to hear some instructors. So I would rather it be too loud and you can bring the volume down versus maxing out and not being able to hear them still. So let me know this time how, and we'll send out a feedback survey at the end too. So let me know this time how the audio levels are. I tried my best to get everybody's kind of at the same level. So that's why I recommend using a computer or TV so you have more control over the audio instead of on a tiny device. If there are any glitches at any time in streaming, refresh. We have to do that ourselves sometimes. So refresh, join back in. Sometimes the chat will freeze or it gets like, it starts to render and buffer. If after you refresh it still doesn't work right, then tell us in the chat and we might change something. If we need to, for any reason, catastrophic issue, we'll end up on Zoom and I'll give you that link now so you can scroll back up, and if we need to, if any glitches, we will head to Zoom. And I'll have to like screen share. But that has not happened. It's just in case, just so you guys have a place to go so that you can still participate. What else do we have to do? Yep, I'm 100% live. I see you guys chatting right here. So really use the chat. Like when you're taking a rest, when you're grabbing a drink of water, participate in the chat. Obviously, when you're doing the stuff, you might not be able to. But if you need a modification, if you have a question, if you have a particular thing that hasn't been working for you, but you want somebody else's opinion, myself and the instructors will be here for you. And with that, I think we're good to get started with our warm-up. I'm going to put this notebook back here. And let's get going. So I'm going to warm you up for about 15 minutes, and then there'll be commercial breaks, 5-minute commercial breaks in between each segment, so that'll be your chance to go to the bathroom, grab water, so make sure that stuff, not the toilet, but make sure that the water is nearby, maybe a towel. For today, you will need access to something that's elevated, like a chair, maybe some yoga blocks or some parallettes, like handles if you have some, a towel or a band, something like that. Just like little equipment. You can use things that are around the house. It doesn't have to be actual equipment. And each instructor will tell you before they start with what they are using. Typically we say no equipment, but it's not like weights and things like that. It's just like common household things. All right, are we ready to get going? If so, find an open spot on the floor. I'm gonna move this roller. Find an open spot on the floor where you're not going to kick anything. So sometimes we have people who are next to like TV stands and they're kicking stuff. So please don't do that. Make sure you have space cleared. If you need to do that now, please do. And then join in when you're ready. So I'm going to take you through a TLAG kind of dynamic warm-up. Do your best to follow along with me, and then we will get going. So we're going to do 2 kicks to the side. Here we go. 1, 2. And if you were with me last summit, you will recognize this warm-up. I'll probably go a little bit out of order based on the segments that we're doing today. And I'll try and warm you up properly for what everyone's doing. Hand on hip, reach over to the side. 2 counts. 1, 2. Other side. 1, 2. Hinge forward. Legs are straight. Ow, I'm sore. 1, 2. Lean back. 1, 2. And repeat. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. And 1, 2. Swing the arms through the legs and then up by your ears. 1, 2. Twist and touch the opposite foot. 1, 2 for 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, into a squat. Heels are together, toes are together. Go up to releve and then back down. 5 times. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into a forward fold. Little baby bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Down to your back for a hollow hold. Just a quick shout out to Vivo Barefoot, our sponsor. Love these shoes. You will see all of our instructors wearing them. And then Tumble Track is also one of our sponsors. So this panel mat that I'm on, that's amazing. It's a foam panel mat. If you're in VIP, in your virtual swag bag, there's a link to go shop to have your own panel mat. I take this outside. I take it to the park and stuff. It's really awesome to be able to have a nice panel mat that I can train with. I chose black. You can choose any other color. But from here, let's go into our hollow hold. You can go into a straight leg hollow hold or knees bent, arms here. We're going to hold for 5. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn to the side. Back. Head is on the arm. Hand is in front of your chest. Lift up 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. Swing around. In front. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. From here, let's do our wrists. A lot of stuff today is very wrist heavy. So I want to make sure that you are fully warmed up and mobile. So let's flip the hands over like this and rock back and forth. 1, 2, I don't like that. This side. 3, 4, and 5. Flip. Top of the palms are on the floor. 1, 2, 3. I see a comment. I will get to that in a second. 5. Wrists together, fingers out, circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Knuckles together. Yeah, so your knuckles should be interlaced like this. Oh, okay, audio goes really low. I will scream louder. Here, all right? So now, top of the palms with the knuckles interlaced, straighten the arms, and kind of rock side to side. Do your best here. It can be very intense, very painful, especially if you type on a computer a lot throughout the day. And then from here, flip your hands back over into that original stretch that we had. And I want you to lift every finger individually. So lift it up and give it a wiggle. So I'm doing this, lift, wiggle, and go to the next finger all the way through, and don't forget your thumb. So you're lifting, and then go to the other side once you've done all 5 fingers, lift up, wiggle, wiggle, lift up, wiggle, wiggle. Good. Am I screaming loud enough? As I'm over here, I'm trying to keep I see the audio level. I'm trying to keep it at the same level, whether I'm close or far away. Let's go into our lunge now. So hips are down for this one. I want you to tuck your bottom under, right? So if we're leaning forward for our lunge, notice how from my shoulder all the way to my knee is a straight line. That's not going to stretch us as much as if we push our chest off of that knee. Now you can see the angle of the hip is extended, so we're going to get a deeper stretch through our hip flexor as well as up into our psoas and our quad. So keep that chest up. You can use your hands to push yourself away from that knee and hold here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Keep that back knee where it is and then straighten this front leg. So we're up, basically kneeling with the leg out in front. Then from there, hinge at the hips, not the back, okay? The hips have the back lean forward, and we're going to stretch our hamstring here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back and forth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slide it down into your splits if you are ready. If this is your split, stay right here. Keep this front leg straight and point the toe. If you've got your full splits, meet me down on the floor. Keep that chest up, same thing. If you're here, remember this is a straight line. You want to stretch the hip flexor more and keep that chest up as tall as you can. For 10, 9, I just spit. I'm trying to go so loud I spit. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Same thing on the other side. All right? In that lunge, chest is up. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hinge back. So you're kneeling, and then your leg is straight. Hinge forward at the hips for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back and forth for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Slide into your splits wherever you are. Ugh. This is my non-dominant side, if you can tell. All right. Keep that chest up. Point the toe. Front leg is straight. And remember, keep this line as extended as possible. Don't let yourself lean forward. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straddle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to tilt down the screen a little bit so I can move closer so I don't have to scream and wake up all my neighbors. Cool. All right. Here we go. Actually, they should be awake by now. All right. Arms out to the side. Reach and grab the opposite hip and then tilt over. Ooh, my back cracked. Now, when you're here, try not to let that elbow go in front of the face. Keep the elbow behind the ear and feel like your back is flat against a wall. And you're going to give baby pulses for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Face the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. Grab. Reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Face the leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the middle. You can have feet flexed or toes pointed. And reach to the middle here for 1, 2. Baby pulses. 3, 4, and 5. If you're ready to go into your middle split, you can go middle split or you can go into a frog. So the frog modification is legs in the shape of a goalpost, yeah? 90 degrees at the knees, and you're holding here. Now, when you're doing a frog, you want to make sure your hips aren't too far back and they're not too far forward. Straight line from knee to knee. If you're doing the full middle split, take it out, same concept, you're there. Yeah, legs are straight and you're in a straight line. But I'm going to do frog so that you can see and modify here. You can be up on your hands or you can be on your elbows for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come out into a pike. Legs are straightened together now, yeah? I'm going to have you flex your feet. Arms are up, and I want you to lengthen all the way forward as far as you can. If you're grabbing your knees, your shins, your ankles, or your feet. Hold for 10, rock side to side. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Wonderful. Let's do shoulders, and then a little bit of ankles and bridge, okay? I think we got time to do that. Yes, we do. All right, so for shoulders, I'm going to face this way. I don't know which way I'm going to face this way. So hips are going to be as high as they can go, and you're dropping your armpits as low as they can go. We're going to do 5 bounces to the middle, and then twist 5 to the side. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reach that hand through, twist and bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back to the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Twist and reach. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Ready for your ankles. And you can do it kneeling or you can do it sitting. If you're doing it kneeling, you're going to roll your ankle here. If you're doing it sitting, you're going to roll your ankle here. So pick whichever one you're going to do. I'm going to do kneeling because I get more of my cracks and pops out. So let's tuck it under. If you're not wearing shoes, tuck the toes all the way under for a point. If you are wearing shoes, you're going to have to flex your feet a little bit. So 5 rolls each direction in either variation. And then we'll switch sides. Down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll get our Achilles. A little more ankles here. So down dog. And then push that heel down to the floor as best you can for 5. And then we'll switch and then we'll alternate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now alternate and bounce. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. On your back for bridge. And then I will get you going. So feet are flat on the floor. Hands are right by your shoulders. Fingers are basically touching your shoulders. From here, you're going to bridge up and look at the floor in between your hands for a full bridge. Otherwise, you'll just do a wheel here or tabletop, up to you. Ready, and bridge up. Push those arms as straight as you can. Look in between the hands for 10, 9, 8, head off the ground, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come down. 3 rock and rolls, and then grab a drink of water. 1, 2, and 3. Awesome. All right. Who is ready? Are you warm? How are you feeling? Let's get you going in just a second here. Were you all able to hear me or keep up with me? I hope so. What we're going to do from here is we're going to do that commercial break. So anytime you see anything about Train Like a Gymnast, you can watch it, you can grab water, you can go to the bathroom. That is your reset chance. And you're going to see the same commercials, so it'll be good cues for you. And then at the end of the day, you'll get to see some from our sponsors. All right? Who is ready to start the summit? Give me a thumbs up or your favorite emoji in the chat. If you're on your computer, it might be hard to do emojis, or if you're on a Mac, I think you do Control Command Spacebar or something to get the emojis to pop up. But I hope you all are ready to go. And with that, it's time to start the summit. I'm so excited. Please let me know how you like it. I'm going to be doing it with you here all day. So please participate in the chat. Here we go. See you later.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. You we keep moving like the river goes. Baby, going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Now, no words, no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I love you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Now, no words, no more, no, no. Yeah.
Consistency. Want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're tuning in from. My name is Meg, aka @IamMeganJoanne. You could find me on Instagram. I'm a former competitive gymnast and track athlete turned certified holistic health coach. I've also been coaching competitive team gymnastics for 15 years, and I'm so excited to be here with you guys. Thank you to Danielle and the TLAG team for inviting me. And also I want to give a shout out to Vivo Barefoot for these awesome shoes. So excited. So today we're doing gymnastics conditioning. I'm so excited to be doing this workout with you. And the way it's going to work is we have a 1-minute warm up just to get the blood flowing, get your heart rate up a little bit. I know you already did a warm up with Danielle, but this is different. And then we're going to go on to 3 different circuits. So we have an upper body circuit, leg circuit, and then an ab circuit. So again, starting with that 1 minute, make sure you have your water ready. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right into it. I hope you guys are ready. So make sure you have your water near. Gonna get some music on. And once I hit that timer, we're gonna start with jumping jacks. Then we're gonna do high knees and then butt kickers to slow it down. All right, so get ready. We're gonna start with those jumping jacks. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Nice deep breaths here. So we're gonna go for 20 seconds and then we're switching into those high knees. We got 4 seconds left. And switch, high knees. Nice deep breaths. Ten more seconds. And then we're gonna slow it down with butt kickers. And switch. Nice little rest here. Once we finish these butt kickers, we got 10 seconds. We're gonna take a 1-minute break. And during that 1 minute, I will give you guys the first circuit and time. Woo! Get a drink. All right, so the way the circuits are gonna work, so we've got 1 minute to rest. We're starting with arms and core. So we're gonna do inchworms for 1 minute. Then we're gonna do 30 seconds of push-ups and 30 seconds of shoulder taps. All right, so for the inchworms, some of you may not know what that is. You're gonna reach those hands down, walk out as far as you can, and then just using the toes, walk all the way in. We don't have a lot of space, so you're just gonna go right back down and then do the opposite direction. All right, so we're gonna get ready. That one takes a little longer, so we're doing that for 1 minute. And then we'll go into the push-ups and the shoulder taps. So we're gonna get started. All right, take a deep breath in. Get ready, and go. So you wanna walk out as far as you can, keeping your body nice and tight, and then keeping your legs straight. Walk those toes in. If you have to bend them a little bit at the end just to reach closer to your hands, that's fine too. If you wanna make it even harder, try to walk those hands out as far as you can. The further your hands go out, the harder it is. All right, so we've got 30 seconds left. Keep it going. You're gonna feel this in your shoulders, in your arms, in your legs, a little bit of everywhere. Three seconds, we're gonna get into those push-ups, and let's go. So right into those push-ups, just regular push-ups, keep those elbows close to your body. If you want to make it harder, you can do elbows in. If you want to make it easier, you can drop down to those knees. Whatever works for you today. We've got 10 seconds left. And now we're doing shoulder taps, so right in that plank and just going side to side. Try not to rock your hips too much side to side. You want to keep those hips stable. So if you have to, widen those legs a little bit to make it a little easier. Seconds and time. Woo! All right. I hope you guys are feeling good. That body's starting to create some heat. I love it. 30 seconds here. And then we're gonna do our second round for this circuit. So we're already at 15 seconds. Take a deep breath. We're gonna get started. In 3, 2, 1. Back to those inchworms. So again, it's a lot harder the further out you go. If you don't want to go that far and you need to lessen the intensity a little bit, then only go out to a push-up position to about here and then walk in from there. All right, again, whatever feels good for you today, it's all good. Normally, and Danielle could attest to this, if you were our gymnast, we wouldn't let you get off on that slack there. But I also can't see you, so we're gonna let it go. Just do the best you can. 5 seconds. Finish your last. And to those push-ups. When you're doing push-ups, make sure you're going all the way down and all the way up. Full range of motion. Make sure those wrists and hands are directly under your shoulders. Keeping your body nice and tight, not letting your belly hang down, not letting your butt go up. And shoulder taps. Keep breathing. Five seconds. And time. Woo! Take another drink. 30 seconds rest here, and we've got our last round for this circuit. Then we're gonna take a minute break, and we're gonna get right into circuit 2, which is gonna be the lower body. Whew. All right, let's get ready for the last round of circuit 1. Deep breath, and let's go. Back to those inchworms. Try to stay in the ball of your toes. I'm getting cat hair all over me. Keep going, we got 30 seconds left. Starting to feel that burn. got about 10 seconds left. Five seconds. And push-ups. If you want to make these even harder, you can go into a diamond push-up shape. So make a diamond with your hand, with your thumb and your pointer finger. That makes it a little bit harder. If you want to increase that intensity a little bit. And now you're trying to get the middle of your chest into that diamond. Kind of gives you a little target too. And shoulder taps. Last one. Push through it. Make sure you keep your head neutral. Keep that core nice and tight. Ten seconds. And time. Woo! All right, so now we're gonna move on to circuit number 2. We've got lower body. We're gonna be doing plie jump squats, forward lunges, fire hydrants, and donkey kicks, but we're gonna go side to side. All right, so plie jumps are nice wide squat position, toes pointing out at about a 45-degree angle. We're gonna go up, just like that. Forward lunges, everybody knows lunges. Okay, alternating sides. Then for the fire hydrants and the donkey kicks, we're gonna do 15 seconds on one side, 15 seconds on the other side. We got 10 seconds, get ready. 30 seconds for each. And 3, 2, 1. So as you're jumping, you're coming up to your toes, crossing your feet. You can alternate sides as you do that. If this gets too intense, then just go up on your toes. It does the same thing, works on those calves as well as those thighs. Good. Or you keep jumping. 3 seconds, forward lunges, switch. Make sure you really push off of that front leg. Nice deep breaths. Chest lifted. 5 seconds. And switch. So fire hydrants. We're just lifting the leg up to the side on all fours. Working those glutes. And switch sides. Again, keep the core tight. Make sure you're not sinking in your belly and arching your back. For the next one, we're gonna go back to the first leg, straighten it out behind you. We're gonna tap the inside and then tap the outside. And then extending through the middle. And switch sides. Nice deep breaths. And time. Woo! Good job. Whoop. Still learning how to work this timer. So, 30 seconds. Well, we got about 20 seconds left before we start from the beginning. Make sure that you're going at your own pace. All right? If you're getting out of breath a lot, go a lot slower. Tone it down a little bit. I know you want to keep up, but it's totally fine if you want to lessen the intensity. We're going to start in 3, 2, 1. Back to those plie jumps. Make sure you're bringing your tailbone straight down and you're not dropping your chest forward, okay? So we're jumping to the toes and then just bouncing off. We're gonna switch in 3, 2, 1, switch. Forward lunges. Also for these lunges, make sure you're bending at a 90-degree angle on both legs. You don't want to keep one leg straight behind you, okay? You don't want to be doing that. You want to just step out enough and then go straight down and back up. And switch, fire hydrant. If you want to make this a little bit harder, you can straighten out that leg and then bring it back in. Switch sides. Otherwise, just keep it here. Lift as high as you can. We're gonna switch, get ready, and back to the other side. Now we're doing those donkeys. We're getting the middle of the glute and the glute medius. And switch sides. Three, 2, 1, and time. Oh yeah. So when you do conditioning, gymnastics conditioning, it's more about the burn, right? Because you're only using body weight rather than being super intense. So again, if you want to make it more intense, go faster, go harder. If you want to just feel that burn, then go at a slower pace. We got our last set coming up. Deep breath in. Starting with those plie jumps. Get ready and go. You guys are doing great. Just keep it up, stay with it. 10 seconds, or actually 5 seconds now. And lunges. Just keep breathing. Focus on the workout. Don't focus on the time. Get ready to switch and fire hydrants. If you're doing the harder variation, good on you, switch sides. I couldn't do it. Maybe Danielle's doing it, I don't know. Get ready to switch and donkey kicks. Make sure you're not trying to kick your leg all the way up in the air, all right? Just a little one. You really just want to feel that glute squeezing tight, okay? Switch sides. It's not about how high you're going. You want to really feel the glute squeezing. If you overdo it, you're going to hit the wrong muscles. And time. Woo! All right, you guys. 1 minute break. And we're gonna move on to our last circuit, which is gonna be abs. This is the best one. It always is, right? So for this circuit, we have V-ups, leg lifts, hollow rockers, and side crunches. So V-up, we're gonna start laying completely flat on your back, and then we just reach our hands and our feet together at the top. Leg lifts, I'm sure you guys have done that. Laying down, just lifting your legs up and down. And obviously I'll go through different variations and different things that you guys can do to either increase the intensity or lessen the intensity. So we're gonna start with those V-ups. So you wanna go down on your back, 30 seconds. Get ready, lay flat, and go. So we're lifting the hands and the feet all the way up to the middle. You could start laying down flat, or you can go to a hollow. Okay, staying in that hollow position is gonna be a little bit harder. With the other one, you kind of get to relax for a second. 5 seconds, and then we're going into leg lifts and switch. Place the hands under the tailbone and start lifting those legs up and down. So you really want to feel that lower ab section, pulling your legs up. If you feel it more in your hips, which sometimes I do, then that means you're using more of your hip flexors rather than your abs. 3 seconds, we're going into hollow rockers, and go. So we're just rocking back and forth. If this is harder, you can do, you can grab your legs and just rock back and forth, just using your fingertips. You're still working the same muscles. Okay, bend your knees a little bit, or you can hold and do flutter kicks. We got 5 seconds. It's hard to talk through that one. Woo. And now we're doing side crunches. So bending the knees, lifting the chest. We're gonna switch sides at 15. And switch. And time. Woo! I already feel the burn. It's definitely hard to talk while I'm doing those exercises, so bear with me. So we're only taking 30 seconds here. We got about 15 seconds left. Second set. So let's get ready. I'm gonna go through some ways that you can make these a little bit harder. Deep breath. Get ready for those V-ups. And let's go. So if you want to do it a little bit harder, you can do single leg V-ups. Targeting opposite sides. So it's getting really deep into those muscle groups. 3 seconds, we're gonna go into those leg lifts. Get ready, let's go. So switch. If this is comfortable, stay here. If you wanna increase, add a little butt lift at the top. Three seconds, and rocks. Go ahead, keep going, just checking the time. The smaller your rocks are, the harder it's gonna be. If you need to do bigger rocks, that's fine, still working those muscles. Get ready for those side crunches. If you want to make them harder, you can straighten those legs and do arms and legs at the same time. Switch sides. Five seconds. And time. Woo! Oh yeah, I feel it. I haven't done these type of exercises in a really long time. Just saying, I'm actually pretty impressed with myself. Let me know in the chat how you guys are doing. If you're still with me, if you're hurting, if you're burning, all the things. We got our last set coming up, 10 seconds. All right, this is the last one. Whatever you've been doing so far, just try to stick through it. This is definitely a harder circuit. So get ready for those V-ups. 3, 2, 1, let's go. You can take breaks, little breaks if you need to, but try not to wait too long. Only a couple seconds. And then get right back into it. Leg lifts, go ahead. Try to do what you did in the last circuit, in the last round. Five seconds. Last set of those rocks. I know these are killers. If you are doing them this way, just try not to pull too much on your legs. Oh, I can't talk. Try not to pull on your legs too much. Just try to rest your fingertips there. 5 seconds, keep going. Side crunches. Last set. This is the last thing we have to do. Switch sides. And time. Woo! Go ahead and stretch out those abs. Do a nice little seal stretch here. Great job, you guys. You made it through. Awesome sauce. Now you get a nice little break before the next section. I hope you guys enjoy. If you head to my website at www.IamMeganJoanne.com, I have a free gift waiting for you. All you have to do is head to my website. Or you could DM me on Instagram at IamMeganJoanne to get that free gift. Thank you so much for having me, and enjoy the rest of the summit.
Consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Now, no words, no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Now, no words, no more, no, no. Yeah.
Hi guys, so my name is Laura and I will be taking you through some functional mobility exercises for today. before we start, I did want to go over what the difference was between flexibility and mobility. So flexibility is really talking about muscle. So it's the length that the muscle can stretch across either one joint or two joints, or depending on that muscle specifically. Mobility has really three components. So flexibility is a component of mobility. Another component is joint specific motions. So it's the ability for a joint to go through its full range of motion. And then you have a neural component as well. So you have your nervous system that goes throughout your whole entire body, and those nerves have to stretch and glide and floss and move as your body moves. So it's the ability of those nerves to move. So what we'll do is we'll start out, I got some exercises just to focusing on, like, we got some hip specific ones, we got some shoulder specific ones, and then we have some back specific ones. We got also a couple ankle mobility exercises, because I know ankles get super tight. One thing I do like, these Vivo barefoot shoes, they're nice and flat, so you can utilize your full ankle mobility while you're doing these exercises. Versus standard shoes have a little bit of a heel drop, so the difference between the heel and the toe, these are very flat and they honestly feel like you're barefoot. So if you follow me or anything, I'm always barefoot, so these shoes are great to help protect your feet when you have to work out outside. So let's start. We're going to go into a forward lunge. So your ankle should be over your knee should be off the ground, hips tucked under, and then you're going to take your opposite side and you're going to reach and twist back, keeping that hip tucked under, and then stand up. So the other side, going forward, touching the hips under, and crossing. So that's one. We're going to do 5. Across. Don't let that knee touch, because we're working some strengthening as well as we do this. And then you can go as far down as you would like, and as twisting as far as you would like. You should feel a good stretch kind of here and across the side. Alright, next what we're going to do is you're going to stand up nice and tall, reach your arms over your head. This is going to be a good one for the back and the hips and the legs. You're going to go down and then grab your ankles, or honestly the back of your knees if you need. You're going to pull up so you get a little bit more of a stretch. And you can kind of target to different areas of the back if you would like, depending on where you feel that stiffness. So you're going to grab with your hands, and then you're going to resist just a little bit. So you shouldn't be pressing as hard as you can. This is a contract, relax exercise to improve the motion through those muscles and those tissues. So, rounding out the back, holding down, and then we'll bring the feet apart. I'm gonna come back this way, and then squat down into a deep squat. You're gonna have your toes slightly turned out. The wider your hips are gonna be, like a little bit easier it's gonna be depending on your pelvis or hip shape. Chest up nice and tall, and then you can go here to get a little bit of a stretch through the mid-back, or you can reach all the way up to get a little bit more of a stretch. And then to the other side. Bring your feet together, and then standing back up. So the whole sequence is going to be arms up over your head, going down, grabbing your back so your ankles, rounding out the back, holding maybe like 15% effort for like max pull up. So it's very small, and then coming down, getting a little bit of a stretch there, separating your feet, hips down, chest up, and then reaching up to get a good stretch through those hips and the back. Feet together and then up. Grab your ankles, round up, then relax down, feet apart, hips down, chest up, reaching up towards the sky, and then the other side. Stand on up, and then come down, grabs back your ankles, round out the back, and then stretch all the way down. Separate your feet, hips down, chest up, up towards the sky. And then the other side. Feet together and stand on up. 2 more. Rouse back to your ankles or knees. Round up. And then relax. Feet apart. Hips down, chest up. Reaching up towards the sky. And then the other side. And then last one. Reach up towards the sky. Down towards the ground. Rouse back to your ankles or knees. Round up. Take a nice deep breath in and relax. Feet apart, knees down, chest up. Reach up towards the sky. And then the other side. And make sure you're looking up towards your hand when you do those. And then come on back up. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to do a back lunge, and then we're going to do a little bit of a hip circle. So your leg is going to come up. You can have, if you need to hold on to something, grab a chair or something that you can bring on over. But the hip circle is going to be here. You're coming around, and then you want to bring your heel up to internally rotate the hip or turn the hip in as you come around to the back. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can do it with the leg straight. So here, coming around, it just makes it a little bit heavier for the leg. So you can do that, and you're trying to get it up as high as you can. So adding the lunge to that, you're gonna come back, and then you're gonna come right up. Going out to the side, the heel starts to come up, and then you go around to the back, and then you lunge again. And we're gonna alternate sides. So other leg, drive the knee up, out to the side, around to the back. You should really feel it in the hip. I don't want you hiking up your hip like that. You want to keep them nice and as even as you can. Drag your knee up, out to the side. Bring the heel up, around to the back. Squeeze your butt, and then lunge down. And you can have your toes pointed or flex, whatever's more natural to you. I personally just have a habit of pointing my toes. As probably most of you do as well. And as you loosen up, you might be able to go a little bit higher as well. Trying to keep your hips nice and square facing forward. And make sure you're breathing while you're doing this. Last one on each side. Drive your knee up, around the side, heel up, keep the hip down during this part because I know it's easy to crank up. Okay, so let's step up to the back of the mat, and we're going to do a little bit of a stretch for the backs of the legs, and a little bit for the back as well. So going up, down to the ground, you're going to walk out, and then you're going to do a little bit of a giant bomber push-up. And then come up. And then walk your hands back up. Up. Going down. Walk your hands on out. Giant bomber push-up. With this, if you want a little bit more of a back workout, use less of your hands and just use them to assist as you come up. And you can get a good stretch through the ankles and through the hamstrings as you walk your way back up. So to get a little bit more of a stretch to the calves, you're going to try and keep your heels down. They might come up just a little bit, that's okay. And if you want to rock back a little bit once you prop up, so after the push-up, dive down, up, and then you can get a little bit of a shoulder stretch by dropping down that way a little bit too. we're gonna do a little bit of an ankle mobilization. So you're working the joint specifically, and then we're adding a little bit of a nerve glide for the lower body. If you do have any like numbness, tingling, or anything like that, really back off, modify, or just keep the leg bent or the toes pointing down a little bit there. So with this one, you're gonna be kneeling, and you're gonna actually be touching this knee down. You're gonna take your opposite side, and you have 2 ankle bones here. So, and then you're gonna put your hand just below those ankle bones so your fingers are on that side. And you're gonna lunge forward. This is when it's important to keep your heel on the ground, there. So you should feel a little bit of like a stretch, stiff, tight kind of feel in the ankles. And then we're gonna come back, and then you're gonna rock your toes back, and then forward. So this is the ankle mobilization. If you want a little bit more, you can scoot forward, there. Bounce maybe like 5 times a little bit, and then you're gonna scoot back, toes down, bring your toes up, and back down. If you want a little bit more of a stretch or adding tension to the nervous system, you can bend your head down. If it's a little bit too much, you can keep your head up, and then don't bring your toes up as far, or you can even bend the knee a little bit. It's fine. If you're focusing more on the hamstring specifically, then you would want to keep the legs straight. But this is more so for the nervous system. So coming forward, keeping the heel down, grabbing just below the ankle bones. Going 5 times. And then coming back, bringing the toe back 5 times. Going forward 5 times. Keeping the heel down on the ground. And these are really good for ankle mobility and pistol squats. People don't really realize how much ankle mobility that uses, and they're like, oh no, it's strength. Take a look at ankle mobility, and that might be where you're lacking if you're struggling with a pistol squat. And then come back 5 pulses with the ankle. And then go forward, put your hand on the ankle there. There is another way to do it with a band. If you have like the big loop bands, if you're interested in that, you can shoot me a message after or comment below, and I can try and explain it to you. Or if you have any questions throughout this, just please shoot it into a comment below. And last one before we switch over to the other side. Good. Let's go ahead and put your other foot in front. So we're reaching with the opposite hand, just below the ankle bones, on the top of your foot, and then you're going to lunge forward, keeping your heel on the ground. Going 5 times. And then coming back, toes up and down 5 times. Coming forward, fingers below the ankle bones, keeping the heel down. 5 times with the toes. And then across the ankle again. So forward, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more. Back again. Remember, you can modify the stretch by looking up or down. Let's go forward for the last one. Keep the heel on the ground. If you need to scoot forward, you can do that. Put a little bit more weight through the front. And then come back. Toes up and down. The next one that we're going to do is we're going to lay on your back, and we're going to cross the knee over the ankle, and then you're going to grab the back of your leg, and then you're going to bring your toes up and then towards you and then back down. So pointing your toes up, bringing it back towards you and come down. The closer that you pull it towards you, the more of a stretch through the hip that you'll get with the leg that's crossed. So this is another nerve mobility exercise. And you're also getting a little bit of a piriformis stretch, which is a muscle on the back of the hip that the sciatic nerve runs under. So if there's any tension on that nerve, sometimes the nerve can feel a little tight. And one more on this side before we switch over to the other side. And we'll switch on over. Ankle is over your knee, grabbing the back of your knee, bringing the toes up, flex your toe, and then coming back down. If this is a little bit too much, you can grab like a pillowcase or a towel and throw it around here so you don't go up as high. And one more on this side, and we'll do one more round on each side. So grabbing the back of the leg, pulling it towards you, keeping your back nice and flat on the ground. If you want a little bit more of a tension through the nervous system, you can lift your head up a little bit. Just make sure the neck doesn't get super tired or anything like that. And one more before we switch over to the other side. So you're going to cross your ankle over your knee, starting with the foot on the ground, grabbing the back of your knee, and then going up towards the ceiling, flexing your toes down, and then coming down. So pointing your toes up, bringing the toes back, and then coming down. Alright, the next one that we're going to do is, since we are already laying on your side, or on your back, we're going to turn over to your side. Leg can be, the bottom leg is going to be straight, your top leg is going to be bent, or you can straighten it out if you want a little bit more of a stretch. So we're going to have your arm out in front, and then you're going to do a little bit of a circle, and back, and then coming through. So you're getting a nice stretch through the arm, through the back, through the chest. And you might be able to feel a little bit of a stretch to the hip as well, depending on how tight you are. And you're doing a nice big circle around, working the shoulder mobility as well. And then we're going to switch over to the other side. So your bottom leg is straight, top leg is either bent or straight. Straight is going to be a little bit more of a stretch. Arms are out in front of you, twisting up and around, and then coming forward. And you're dropping your back shoulder towards the ground as you turn. And then switch over to the other side. We'll do one more round on each side. And this is a good one to open up the shoulders for handstands. Or honestly, it just feels good after you're sitting at a desk all day, if you do work a desk job. And then the other side. So bottom leg is straight, top leg is either bent or straight. Going around in a circle, and then coming back. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to work the straddle a little bit for some hip mobility, some like side-to-side mobility as well. So we're really going to use like the active mobility part of this. So you can use your hands to assist, but the goal is to do them either modified range or without hands. So what we're going to do is you're going to have your arms over your head. You're going to be in a straddle. If you need to, you can kind of go to the side a little bit more. If you need to do these standing, you can do them standing as well. So going here, and we'll be going from the side up to the other side. So depending on how your mobility is, to get a little bit of an extra mobility through the hip, you can do them with the legs apart in a straddle. So arms overhead, and you're going to go towards your toe, pause, 2, 3, and then up. If you want to hold something in between your hands, you can do that as well. pause for 3 seconds on either side, so you should feel a really good stretch on your obliques, on the sides of your stomach, and then same thing to the other side. And you might feel a difference from side to side as well, the other one side being tight and the other one not being as tight. If you do need to use your hand throughout, you can. You kind of push up there. So kind of going around, getting a good stretch, and then you can use your hand to come back up. And making sure the legs stay nice and straight. And really breathe throughout this. That will deepen the stretch a little bit too. Alright, next what we're going to do is a little bit of a straddle good morning. So you're just bending down, getting a stretch, and then driving through the heels, squeezing the butt to come back up. To make it harder, you can bring your arms over your head or behind your head this way. Same thing if you're standing. You can kind of come here, bend the knees just a little bit, and then squeeze your butt to stand up. Going over the head is going to be a little bit more difficult, and then going over your head is going to be a little bit harder. Making sure your back is staying flat the whole entire time. And same thing if you're sitting down. If you need to modify the range and only go down to here and coming back up, that's okay too. So I'm going to do it with the hands behind the head. So you're reaching down. You can tap your chest. You don't need to tap your chest in the ground. And then coming back up. We're going to do 5, so that's 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to go back. Same thing, if this is a little bit too difficult, you can go hands behind the head or dropping one hand under. So I'm going to go here, go over to the side, hold for 3 seconds, breathe while you're there, and then come on back up. Working like handstand flags or some of the shapes in your hands, this is a good exercise to work your oblique strength for those things. And we're going to do 2 more on each side. One more. Last side. Good. And then your hands can stay over your head for the next one or can come down behind your ears. And you might need to adjust a little bit here depending on your mobility. So think about squeezing your butt on the way up. You might feel it in the hamstrings as well and the backs of the legs. One more. Yeah. So next what we're going to do is we're going to stand on back up. We're going to do a little bit more hip mobility. And I'm just checking how we are on time. Okay, we got maybe like 5 to 7-ish minutes left. So we're going to go out to the side. You're going to do a Cossack squat. I think that's how you say it. So it's basically a deeper side lunge. If you need to get a step stool or something like that to sit on, you can do that as well. So you're going to go out to the side. If you need to have a step stool here, go ahead and sit down on that. If not, you can go all the way down. And then you're going to turn your knee down towards the ground and then come back up, shift your weight forward. If you need to use your hands a little bit, you can do that as well. And then stand on back up. So out to the side. If you need to support yourself on the way down, you can do that. Dropping the heel down, or the knee down, coming back up onto your foot, and then standing back up. And then one more. And then we'll step over to the other side. So really focusing on controlling that motion on the way down, tapping the knee down, coming back up, chest up nice and tall, and then coming back up. Slow on the way down. If you need to use your hands, you can do that as well. And one more. next what we're gonna do is we're gonna be sitting on the ground, kind of in like a 90-90-ish position with both legs. If you do need to sit up on something, you can do that, or it's gonna be a little bit easier if you bring the legs out to go around to the other side. So we're just gonna be working some hip mobility here, using more so specific to the joint with this. We're gonna add a little bit of a upper arm nerve mobility with it as well. So we're gonna sit here, turn to the other side, and then you're gonna take your arm and come here, and you're gonna go out and then in. If it's a little bit too much of a stretch through the fingers, don't bring the palm out as far, or don't straighten the elbow. If you wanna add a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your head away. So going 5 there, and then switching over to the other side. 4 and 5, and then rocking towards the other side. You can use your hands for support if you need it. If you don't need it, you don't have to use your arms. That'll make it a little bit more challenging. With the arm, 3, 4, 5, keeping that shoulder down, and then going over to the other side. For a little bit more of a stretch, you can bring your head over to the side. Making sure you're not having any like tingling or any symptoms with this. If you are, don't go quite as far. And you can move your head up and down as you do it, if you prefer, or you can just kind of leave it there. And then one more on each side. Last, we're going to do a little bit of shoulder specific stuff. I apologize if you can see a difference from side to side on me. I am about 6 months out of shoulder surgery, so try and utilize my left arm for terms of reference. So just ignore kind of the right side as best you can. So you're going to lay on your stomach. You're going to go into a Superman, and then you're going to bring your arms by your sides, pinching the shoulder blades down and back. Don't keep your shoulders up by your ears. You want to keep them nice and down, and then coming back up. So we're going to do 5 of these. Okay, and then next what we're going to do is we're going to bring your arm, so laying on your stomach, you're going to bring your arms behind your back, and you're going to lift up, and then straighten your arms, and then come around, bringing the arms up over your head, and then coming back down. Lifting up, arms straight, and then coming around. Keeping the space between your ears and your shoulders. You don't necessarily want them up by your ears with this. And we'll do one more. And then we got one more round of each of those. So Superman, bringing the arms down and back, so you should feel it pinching between the shoulder blades. And you should breathe out on the way down. And one more, 5 there. And then hands behind your back, lifting your hands up, elbows straight, coming around and down. So lifting up, down, around. If you need to, you can drag your arms on the ground or put a pillow under your chest if you're lacking a little bit of mobility there. And one more. Okay. So that is all I have for you. Please drop any questions down below, and then I will let the other Train Like a Gymnast instructors take over from here. Please reach out if you do have any questions, though I'm always happy to have a discussion with any one of you.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Now, no, it's no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I love you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Now, no, it's no more, no, no. Yeah.
Consistency. Want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. Do you want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Hi everyone, my name is Kailey Maurer. Thank you so much for joining my class today. Today I'm going to be teaching a press to handstands class. I'm super excited about it. I know you guys have probably already been a part of a bunch of great classes this morning. Thank you so much to Danielle for putting this all together. This is really, really awesome. A little bit about me. I grew up competing in sports acrobatic gymnastics. I started taking class when I was about 3 years old. I started competing when I was 5, and I competed all the way up till I was 17 years old. I've competed as both a top and a base. I'm a 6-time national champion, and I was a finalist at World Championships. And then I went on to perform. I've performed on the Ellen DeGeneres show twice, and I've also performed on MTV's Amazingness and the talk show Pickler and Ben, as well as just a bunch of different other events around the world. I've also been teaching since I was 10 years old. It's always been a passion of mine. I still teach all the time. I teach a lot of private lessons, and I'm working on online classes right now. I do have an online live class that I teach on Saturdays that's beginning handstands, and I want to definitely expand on that. So thanks again for joining my press to handstands class. If you have any questions, I'm going to be here in the chat throughout the whole class, so feel free to ask any questions at any time. You can definitely be any level in this class. Press to handstands is more of an advanced thing to learn, but that doesn't mean you have to be advanced to start building up the right muscle groups and the strength to be able to do your press to handstand. So stick around. Even if you feel like these things are hard, push yourself. You can do it. I'm going to be doing different modifications throughout the class, showing different examples of what to do if you're more of a beginner or if you're more advanced. So just do the best you can. Take breaks whenever you need to. I'll be stopping throughout if like for rests if we need them. But other than that, let's get started. Thanks again for joining the class. Alrighty. The first thing we are going to start with is straddle leg lifts. So you're going to sit down on your bottom with your legs apart, and you're going to lean forward with your hands in line with your legs right here. You want to lean forward, putting weight onto your hands. If you lean back like this when you do them, you're working a different muscle group. So we want to make sure there's weight on our hands and that our hands are super flat on the floor. If you're more of a beginner, you're going to put your hands over just one leg and do one leg at a time. If you're more advanced, you're going to put your hands in the middle. So I'll demonstrate both. You can try whichever one you like, and then when we do the actual exercise, you're going to do whichever one you prefer. So hands in the middle, we're going to be lifting our legs up and down like that, leaning forward. And when we go, we're going to do a set of 10 and hold for 10 seconds at the end. We're going to do 2 sets, so you'll have time to do one on each leg if you're doing them on each leg like that. Same thing with the one leg. Hands in line with your knee or a little bit in front of your knee, and push down through the floor when you do it. So let's get started. Set number 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. If you're not that flexible yet, and even if your legs are just barely coming off the floor, that's totally fine. You'll still be working the right muscle groups. As long as you're pushing down with your hands flat and you're trying to lift those legs up, you're going to be building the muscles you need for your press. So just do the best you can and stick with it. Let's go with set number 2. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. And you can kind of punch your thighs a little bit, massage them out. Feels really, really good after this exercise. Alrighty. The next thing we are going to do is we're going to roll back into a candlestick and then roll forward into our straddle. When we're up in our candlestick, we want to have a super, super hollow body and keep our abs tight. You don't want to let your legs come over your head like this. We're going to roll back, shoot straight up, and then roll back forward. On the way back forward into the straddle, I want you to hold your legs up, hands down, and into your straddle. We're going to hold for 3. That's the advanced version. If you're not quite there yet, no worries at all. You're going to roll back to your candlestick and then roll forward to the position we were just holding here with your legs up. If that is even too hard for you, no worries at all. Trust me, I know learning a press is really, really hard, and it takes really unique muscle groups you're not used to using. So you're going to just roll back and then roll forward, holding one leg up, similar to how we just were with the more beginning modification. And then you'll switch legs with each one. So go ahead and decide which of those exercises, modifications you want to do, and we're going to get started. We're going to do a set of 5 rolling back, and every time we roll forward, we're going to hold whatever position you're doing for 3 seconds. Alrighty, here we go. Shoot up, straight body, roll forward, hold 1, 2, 3, and I'll show the other variations. And roll forward, 1, 2, 3, and up, and roll forward, 1, 2, 3. You guys are going to stick to the same variation each time. 1, 2, 3. I'm just alternating to show the different ones. And roll forward, 1, 2, 3, and rest. Great job. Keep up the good work. Go ahead and punch out those thighs again. I know they get super tired in these exercises. This is definitely a muscle group we're not used to using. And after we rest, we are going to go ahead and do one more set. Alrighty, let's do it. Here we go. Let's roll back and forward. 1, 2, 3. Back and up. 1, 2, 3. Roll back and up. 1, 2, 3. 2 more. You got it. I know you're tired. You can do it. 1, 2, 3. Last one. Everything you got. Here we go. Hold 1, 2, 3, and rest. Great job. Go ahead and grab a drink, and we're gonna rest for a little bit. All right. Let's move on. I'll show you the next exercise. You can keep resting while I show you. We are going to go into a press position right here, and you're going to go forward up to high toe and then back down to flat. Forward up to high toe, back down to flat. And each time you want to think about really pushing through the floor. Grip the floor with your fingers, similar to how when you do a handstand. And you're going to lean your shoulders forward over your fingers, up on high toe, and then down. You want to make sure you're looking at the floor in between your hands. Don't put your head into this exercise. It will feel like you're going to fall on your face, and it will also make it harder for you to lean forward. So definitely keep your head out, looking almost in front in between your hands. All right, we're going to do a set of 10. Everybody get ready, and go. Up and down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. Go ahead and rest. I like to roll my neck out in between exercises, but you can sit down if that's how you like to rest. All right, we're gonna do one more set of 10, but before I go, this time if that was way too easy for you, I'm gonna show a little bit more of an advanced version that you can try this time if that was really easy, and if not, do the exact same thing again. Also with this exercise, you wanna make sure that your legs are close to your hands. I mean, as much as your flexibility permits, but you wanna try to not be this far back. If you can, keep your hands just right in front of your feet. But the slightly more advanced version is when you go on high toe, you're gonna push off the ground and then back. Again, only try that if the first one was really, really easy for you. All right, let's get ready for set number 2. Here we go. And up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. Go ahead and rest again. You guys are doing awesome. I know these exercises are super tiring. Presses are a hard skill to learn, and you have to be really consistent with drills and conditioning to build up those muscles. So keep at it. Even if this is really hard for you, do the best you can, because even attempting these exercises is so good for building these muscles. There's nothing really quite like it that can kind of warm you up into it. Obviously there's different variations you can do, but you really want to try to just put your body through these motions to help build your muscles for your press. All right, the next thing we're gonna do is go to this press position. If you're just starting out, you can go with flat feet, and you're gonna try to tap your wrist like that. If you're a little bit more advanced, you can try both. You're gonna go on high toe and then tap your wrist. So we're gonna tap each wrist 10 times total, 5 with each leg, and then we're gonna rest. And we're gonna do 2 sets. Alrighty, let's get to it. And with this, it's the same technique as the last one. You're gonna wanna put weight on your hands, lean your shoulders forward, and legs close to your hands, a little bit wider than where your hands are. Alrighty, here we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And rest. Good job. We're gonna do one more set of 10, and then we're gonna go ahead and grab another drink. Alrighty, let's do that last set of these. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And rest. Go ahead and grab another drink. Great work. You guys are doing awesome. All right, the next exercise we're gonna do with these little leaves, I call push-up sliders, but we're gonna do them in straddle. So I'll do it kind of from two angles so you can see both ways. You're gonna put your hands on the ground and push-up position with your feet in a straddle. And then you're gonna slide your feet forward into press position on the outside of your hands. And this part is just as hard as sliding forward. You're gonna push back and try not to lift your feet. You wanna try to just push straight back. For this one, you're definitely gonna wanna have socks on or some sort of sliders under your feet so that your feet can slide easily. Because you wanna try to avoid picking up your feet. In this exercise, they should stay glued to the floor and about the same width apart the whole time. So let me show you from a side angle now. You're gonna be here in push-up position. Everything tight, abs tight. You're gonna slide forward up to press position with a really round back. Push down through your hands and then back to your push-up position. Bottom down, abs tight in the push position. We are gonna do 2 sets of 10 of these. Stick with me as much as you can. Again, these exercises are difficult, but you can do it. Just do the best you can with each one. Even if you only do 5, because that's where you're at, that's totally fine. Do your best to keep up, but do whatever you can. All right, so we're gonna start in push-up position. Everybody ready? If you have to go half speed, that's okay. We're gonna slide forward and push back. 1, forward, back, 2, 3, forward, back, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and rest. Great job. Those are definitely one of the harder ones. So like I said, again, if you're just doing 5 at a time, that's great. Even 3 at a time is great. You're working up those muscles. You're building them up. Just do whatever you can. It's great. I know with stuff like this that's really, really hard, sometimes it can get a little unmotivating because you're like, oh, it's gonna be so hard for me to get there. But as long as you start somewhere and you just push yourself to do whatever you can in that moment to just start, you're going forward towards your goals, and that's how you're gonna get there. So with these, I know it's hard, but just do the best you can. And even if you're doing it a little bit or even halfway, you're taking 1 step closer to being able to do the full drill and then the full amount of the drills all the way up till you get your press. It's definitely a journey, but I know all of you can do it. So great, great, great job sticking with me here. You guys are all doing amazing, and let's keep it up. Alrighty, we're gonna do our next set of these push-up sliders. Everybody get ready. And let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, you got it. 1 more, 10. Nice job. Go ahead and shake out those arms now. Let's give them a little break, stretch them out. You can cross one arm over your chest. Do a nice head roll. And the other way. And switch arms. Nice. And back. Awesome. All right. The next thing we are going to do is press toe, like baby press toe taps. So I think most of us will be doing it the first way I show, and then if you can already do a press or like a stalder from straddle, or you're working on that, you might be able to do the second one. It's a lot more advanced. But the first thing we're gonna try is from press position. You're gonna slide your feet together and apart. Let me actually move off my yoga mat for this. So you're here. I'll show you. That angle looks pretty good. Up on high toe, slide feet together, slide feet apart. Slide feet together, slide feet apart. Same sort of technique with this one. Pushing down through the floor. Make sure you're looking at the ground in between your hands, out in front a little bit. You want to try to squeeze your thighs to your chest as much as you can. Throughout the whole entire exercises, you want your legs close to your arms and your chest. And obviously, nice, legs straight, grip the floor. If that's really, really easy for you and you can already do a stalder or something like that, then you're gonna wanna do this version of the drill where you go up off the ground and then you're gonna tap your feet together like this off the floor for the whole 10 times. But alrighty, let's go ahead and get started on this. We're gonna do 2 sets of 10. And up on high toe, slide your feet together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Again, I know it's hard, even if you're doing 5 at a time or half the speed, don't worry about it. We're all starting somewhere and you're doing great. We're gonna do 1 more set of these and then we're gonna go ahead and grab another drink of water because I know these are really tiring. I'm even out of breath. Alrighty, let's do that second set. You got it. Here we go. And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Nice job. Go ahead and grab a drink. I'm proud of you guys. Keep up the good work. I just want to say again, if you guys have any questions throughout any of this, please ask it in the chat. I'm here for you to answer any questions. And yeah, I want to support you guys along this journey. That's so awesome that you're in this class and that you guys want to be learning all this stuff. It's so much fun. Alrighty. Let's move on to the next exercise. I'm going to use this time. So, you guys can use a little like pedestal like this, or if you have little blocks or something you can put your feet on, those work great as well. This is a little bit higher, so kind of depending on where you're at with your press will be the level of what you want to use for this next exercise. We're going to start working on our press up, but you want something where you can still kind of go for the press. So you don't want it to be too low to the ground where you're practically just sitting in press position, but you also don't want it to be too high where you're already practically in a handstand. So kind of find that level that's right for you. I'm going to give you a few seconds to go ahead and find that thing, get it ready, and then we'll get started. With this exercise, you can also do it against the wall, which I'll demonstrate right after I demonstrate this one. But my camera angle is not super great for the wall, so feel free to do it against the wall. or not against the wall, whatever you prefer. So you're gonna put your feet up. You want your feet to be able to be wider than your hands on this, and you're gonna be in press position. And make sure your hands are pretty close to the thing your feet are on, but you still wanna be able to lean your shoulders forward. Make sure you're looking at the ground between your hands. You're gonna try to push up your toes and then straddle around the outside to your handstand. If you can't quite hold a handstand yet, that's also okay. You want to just try to find where you can lean forward enough to get your weight off whatever your feet are on, and then you can go back to it. So if you aren't able to hold your handstand yet, you can lean forward, go press, back down, press, back down. And even that little movement, you're practically already in handstand, so you're building the right muscles for the press. And if you can hold your handstand, then go ahead and finish it up. And if you're gonna do it against the wall, I'll move this over here real quick so you can have a little bit better of an angle. I wish I had some sort of cameraman make this a little bit easier. All right. Then you're gonna have this here up near the wall, hands down. You want just your head to be against the wall so you can push against the wall with your head. Don't put your head in, even against the wall. Go up to your press position. Find a nice angle where you can lean forward, but your head's against the wall. And then you're gonna try to press up from there. Oops, I'm a little close to that. All the way up. That's okay if you're in a handstand here. See how my shoulders are leaning forward and I'm against the wall? That's fine. You don't need to be here with your back arched. Because you're pressing, we want to be here. And then back down. And then same thing again. And if this is still really hard for you, you can try to go 1 foot at a time. Like that. And up. And then down. Really good job. Go ahead and rest. If you'd already started away from the wall, that's great. I want you to try to do 5 total. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 2 more. And go ahead and feel free to rest in between whenever you need. All right, here we go. And if you need to rest, rest. Really make sure you're pushing to the floor, and on the way up, your shoulders are going in front of your hands. If you're not against the wall, you're gonna have to bring them back in over your hands to create that line in your handstand. If you are against the wall, feel free to just lean them forward until you, or leave them forward until you get used to it. And then, once you get really used to it against the wall, you can kind of press up, and then when you're almost all the way up, try to pull away from the wall. That's a little bit more of an advanced wall version of this. So for now, I'll probably stay against the wall. But awesome job. Go ahead and get a quick drink. We're gonna do 1 more exercise. You guys are doing great. Oh, I just spilled my water. Thanks for sticking with me on this. I'm so proud of all of you. Alrighty, let me scoot this camera back a little more. Sorry, I don't really have any sort of film crew, so we're doing the best we can here. For this, we're gonna do a reverse press down to build some of those muscles up. So you're gonna start by kicking a handstand against the wall. You wanna make sure you're a distance where you can get to that same kind of leaning forward where your head's against the wall that you were just in. Then you're gonna straddle your legs around. You're going to try to create a really round back here, so my bottom and my head are against the wall. And then as slow as you can, come to the floor. So with this, you want to bring your legs around the outside. Keep your legs squeeze close to your chest as you can. You want your legs as close to your body as possible and really push through the floor. All right, and then again, head against the wall and your bottom can kind of touch as your legs are coming around. And think about having a really, really round back. Round back, legs close to your body. Let's do it. We're gonna do 3 of these total. Let's begin. So we kick up, you can adjust your hands if you didn't quite kick up to the right spot. We're here. Legs around. Really, really round back. Squeeze those thighs in and down. Great job. And rest. And we're gonna do 2 more. Here we go, kick up. Head close. Bottom on the wall. Legs around, round back. Squeeze those legs as close as you can. And down. Awesome job. And we're going to do 1 more. Everybody ready? And up. Head against the wall. Legs around. And down. And with those, if that was too easy for you against the wall and you have a solid handstand, definitely feel free to just kick the handstand and do that away from the wall if you can find the control. I'm gonna bring you guys back over here for a minute. Well, that is it for today's Press the Handstand class. I wish we had more time. I love doing this stuff. But thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate it, and I hope you had fun. I am teaching online right now because of COVID-19, hence the digital summit. You can find me on my website, maurerpowerfit.com. I'll be putting that in the chat section so you guys can click on that. Also, if you're interested in just my coaching or my classes or have any questions for me in general, I would love to work with all of you. I put a Google form into the chat, so you guys can click on that and fill that out, and I'll reach out to you via email with any sort of information if you kind of just want a general rundown, or if you have any specific questions, feel free to reach out to me through my website. Again, it's maurerpowerfit.com. I'll write it in the chat. And then you can also find my business email address that's not on my website on my Instagram, or you can DM me on Instagram. There's lots of ways to reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much again for joining. Again, I would love to work with each and every one of you. So I look forward to hopefully hearing from you, and I hope you guys all have a fantastic day during the rest of this digital summit. Thank you so much again to Danielle for putting all this together. It's been a blast, and yeah, have a fantastic rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much again for joining. See you soon.
Consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Down now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Down now, no words no more, no, no. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm Megan, and today I'm going to work on some one-arm drills to start improving the strength and dexterity we have in our handstands so that we can start confidently shifting onto one arm. And while I don't normally wear shoes to do handstands, today I'm wearing my awesome Vivos. And actually, like, if you look back at my feed for like years, if I do handstands in shoes, it's while wearing Vivos, and the reason is because like when I was 18, I had to have knee surgery, and I wasn't training super hard at that point. I was like kind of coming off of being a gymnast and not in the best shape, and so the recovery was really hard, and I had a lot of pain afterwards. And I found that if I wore barefoot shoes, specifically Vivos, I didn't have any knee pain, and I've been wearing them ever since, and now I'm like really old, so it's a while. So let's go ahead and hop right into class. If you're just starting, this is what we're gonna need: 2 yoga blocks and like a towel or a rag or something. A piece of paper could work. Be creative. So go ahead and grab those things now. So the first thing that we're going to start off with is these little shoulder push-ups. So we're going to start in a tabletop position. And when I'm in this tabletop, what I'm always thinking about is drawing my body long, having slight inward tension in my thighs, pulling my belly button up, not squeezing my abs or tucking my hips, but pulling it up and in, and then pushing the ground away and in with my chest. So what that looks like from the front is that I'm simply pushing the ground away and then activating my pecs to have this little bit of inward tension. So all of our drills are going to be done in this base position. So really try and solidify that muscle activation. So we're going to be on our block, and we're going to be pushed up and in. Again, I'm not rounded, I'm not pushing backwards, I'm pushing straight up, still keeping my neck nice and long, and slight inward activation with the pec. And I'm going to try and keep my hands and shoulders even here, and reach down and up, down and up. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to really try not to twist or drop necessarily. I'm trying to keep as much as I can my shoulders nice and even, and I'm just exploring this motion on one side of my body. Do it on both sides. And again, what tends to happen is we place our block in the center of us, and then our shoulder is outside our hand, which is not a strong point. So we have to place the block so that our shoulder is directly over our hands and we're in line with our hips. So then I'm actually having to use my pec to really hold this shape. And a lot of times, like, my left is weaker, so what it wants to do is it tries to push me back to get more push out of the shoulder. But I have to really focus on keeping my shoulder directly over my hand as I do these. And then I try to push out. Good. You should feel really nice, strong tricep activation, really good chest and pec activation. The next one that we're going to do is still in this tabletop position because I love this tabletop position. I'm going to be reaching forward so that my midpoint of my shoulder is over the midpoint of my hand. What that looks like from the side is about here. Again, reaching long, pulling the belly button in, slight inward tension in the hips, and that push and pull sensation in my shoulders. My hands are about like how I would do a high five. My fingers aren't wide. I'm actually sitting about here. And we're going to loosen the tension off of our one arm while keeping our shoulders exactly the same. So as I'm dropping the tension, I'm not sinking and I'm not raising. So I'm simply dropping the tension out of one side, and then I'm going to bring myself up onto fingertips without moving my shoulder angle. So I did not go up and tilt myself over, and I didn't sink down. I'm sitting exactly even, and I still have both sides of my pecs activated. So to see on the other side, I'm going to simply lose tension, pop up to my fingertips, and both my pecs are still active. Having the elbow pointing out is an important part of this. We don't want it sat back, and the reason being is that on our next step, as we straighten the arm, we want to simply activate the tricep. So I'm keeping my pec muscle turned on, and all I'm doing is just activating my tricep, and I'm thinking about reaching my fingertips away. I'm not leaning away, but I'm trying to find this extension, which is going to actually further activate my pec and further activate my tricep. Reaching away. This shoulder is reaching almost under. Okay, I'm not rolling my back, but I'm reaching long and keeping this pec nice and strong and active. What else you should notice is a slight crossbody activation. So as I release the tension off my left arm, off of my right arm, my right oblique is going to activate slightly. And that's really important to note because a lot of times in our one arms, we get our shoulders nice and stable and it feels like our hips slide to one side. And that's because we're losing that cross tension. So as we shift over, we have to have that oblique on the opposite side nice and active and lifting so that the hips don't slide off the top. The next drill we're going to do is we're going to use our cloth. And this is, I'm like classic gymnastics trained. I love like shoving things between my ear and my shoulder. So we're going to do a handstand, and we'll do one shoulder at a time. And I'm going to start on my left side, that's my weaker side, and you can attempt, as we're shifting, to pull. All we're going to do is simply pull the cloth closer to the face on one side. I'm going to do this from tummy forward, so you can watch how my pec stays on to do that. So I'm going to go into my most stable handstand position, whatever that is. And all I'm going to do is try and pull my pec muscle closer to one side of my cheek. And I'm squeezing that cloth. And that's all I'm doing. I'm not even really releasing a whole lot of tension. I'm not trying to shift. I'm just pulling that cloth closer and closer and closer. So what that does is in our one arms, so in our handstands we're here. And then as we shift to one arm, we often see this elbow slightly turn out. There's an increase of space, and we tend to hold the one arm aligned over the outside of the arm. But we want to train ourselves to hold our one arm along the inside line, this line. And so as I'm here, I'm going to actually not reach my head over or lean my arm farther in. I'm going to turn on this pec muscle even harder, which is going to reach this muscle up and towards my midpoint in my one arm. So that's all we're doing in this drill, just going from our two-handed handstand, over, over. Again, I'm not leaning my head over. I'm actually using my muscles to pull in tighter, hug this midline even tighter. And the towel is a nice little reminder because we can actually squish something. In our next drill, we're going to kick into whatever is your most stable handstand shape. I find a stag is pretty stable for a lot of people, or a straddle is oftentimes, just depending on your flexibility. And we're going to take the leg that is opposite to the arm that we're doing the one arm on, and we're going to have that be the bent into our body leg. And we're just going to start by practicing that. I'm going to show both the variation in a straddle where I pull that leg in, and then the stag where I pull the leg in. So if I'm going to be doing a right side one arm, I'm going to take my left leg and pull it in. And that's all we're going to do for now. So I'm going to do my left side, I'm going to take my right leg and pull it in. And so they're just little baby shifts. If I'm in a stag, I'm going to take my left knee and I'm going to my right side and pull it nice and in. Switch that to the other side. Pull that right knee down, and that's towards that left side. All right, so where we can go from there is we can start piecing these things together. We can start piecing this lift that we were practicing on our blocks, these nice pull-ins, the proper shifting, and keeping our leg bent in as we try and knit all of that together to form some sort of stable fingertip handstand. So what that looks like. So I'm going to start in my two-arm handstand. I'm going to pull my opposite leg in. I'm going to do my shoulder push up, my pull in, and then releasing the tension on my opposite arm and bringing myself to fingertips. Back. So bringing my shoulder in, doing my little push up, my leg is in, releasing tension and bringing myself up to fingertips. I can do the same thing in a stag. So the main points of our one arm is that we shouldn't be really thinking about shifting to one side, like moving our hips or moving our legs. Really, we want to try and keep our body alignment. We've already built this really beautiful two-armed platform, and we want to try and keep as much of that structural integrity as we possibly can. And we just find that lift, that reach that we have in our two-armed handstand, and we simply eliminate one point of support without shifting anything else. What happens is our body will sort of naturally fall into line if we take away that point of support. So I'm not thinking about tipping my hips or bringing my toe down 45 degrees or, some of the other things that some instructors teach. I really think about, I'm in a stable handstand already. As I lose the support, as long as I'm thinking about that upward tension, my body sort of naturally aligns itself in our new structure. And then as I come up to my fingertips, all I do is try and release more and more of the weight off of this arm. And the nice part about this way of teaching is that if you do get all of the weight off of your arm and you bring that arm straight through your tricep, not by reaching the arm up, is that you'll always fall back to center, back to your two-armed handstand. And that's really what you want to be doing. Falling outside has a few different problems. First off, once something has gone too far outside, it's really difficult to pull it back in. But if you drop to the center, you can try again in the same rep. The other thing is that most of the times, you're simply not strong enough to hold a one arm yet. And so if you sort of just throw caution to the wind, throw that arm up, and all of a sudden your weight is dropped fully onto a one arm that may not be strong enough to support that weight, you can do some damage. And nothing sets your training back like having to take a massive break to nurse an injury. So what I really want to sort of hit home with is that if you're getting to a point where you're on your fingertips and you're just like, oh, I really don't know how to go, like I can't go anymore, we never then just like throw the arm up and sort of push the hand away and throw caution to the wind, but take that as a cue from our body that it's saying, this is what I'm strong enough to hold right now safely, and then as you drop more and more weight off, it'll just get stronger and stronger until you can drop all of the weight off. One arms are a journey, and it is a really long journey. So if you can jump into a 2-arm handstand, let's say that took you 1 month to learn how to go from standing on 2 feet to standing successfully on 2 hands, the journey to a 1-arm is not just another month, you know. And if we think about how our body progresses, if one day I go to the gym and I squat 100 pounds, the next natural progression isn't 200 pounds. And that's what you're doing in a 1-arm, is like, I weigh exactly 1 Megan, and on 2 hands, each arm is holding half of a Megan. But then as soon as I release that arm, now this 1 arm is having to have doubled its weight. And then not only that, is you're losing a point of structural support. So where I don't rotate on my 2 arms, I do rotate on my 1 arm. And that's a whole new muscle system that my body has to have some time to catch up with. Okay, so then I'm going to show a few kind of like poor examples of 1-arms that are general problems with them, but are hard to catch if we just simply don't know what we're looking for. So at the very basis, a 1-arm is the shoulder stacked over the hand. And as long as you always have this shoulder stacked directly over the hand, you can kind of hold a 1-arm. But what tends to happen is as we shift our shoulder out, or as we throw this shoulder up, we shift the shoulder in. And just like standing on one leg, is if I'm standing on one leg and I have my hip drop, I fall out. If I'm standing on one leg and I hike this hip, it falls to the side. And the same things happen in our 1-arms. The next point is that just like if I'm standing on one leg, I'm sort of stabilizing my shoulders. I'm not using my hands to balance. I'm really using the palm of my foot. So we want to think of this in our 1-arms, is we're really using the palm of our hand and like increased palm pressure a lot through the thumb, a lot through this inside line to stabilize our 1-arms, rather than our legs tipping from side to side. And then the last point that I want to make is that it's really okay to bend the elbow. You should. Unlike hand-to-hand, that's a really different handstand, and unlike a gymnastics handstand, those handstands have different purposes. But in the hand balancing handstands, our elbows are really a great point of balance. They're a really acceptable point. Just like your knees have slight bends and straightens as you're standing. The joint isn't locked fully as you're standing on it. It has a little bit of tension through it. Everything is lifting, everything's reaching. It's certainly not bent, but you are utilizing that joint for balance. And we want to use our elbows early and often to have really small movements, but really effective at catching the motion. So I'm going to go through some not so awesome 1-arm techniques. And the first one is going to be the shoulder hike. So as you're training, I really recommend videoing yourself, and you can look back and see if you can spot some of these errors. And then it's easy to identify, which makes it more easier to correct. I'm not saying that it's necessarily just super easy if you can see it. But so the shoulder hike. So this is where I get myself stable in my 1-arm position. And then as I'm lifting this arm, instead of just straightening it from the tricep, I lift the whole shoulder up and cartwheel off to the side. That's the classic screenshot it and post it to Instagram 1-arm. But you can see the problem because you'll see this shoulder just completely hiked down. Another variation of the shoulder hike is when our hips want to stay stable over our shoulder, but this shoulder hikes anyways and we fall to the inside. So what that one looks like is I've shifted, but my hips still want to be centered. And so as I hike up my shoulder, my foot comes down. And that's the stability in the hips, which is actually why I like that one knee bent, is if I bend my knee in and I have this tension inward, my hips tend not to compress and sink. It's just a little trick. See if it works for you. The next mistake that we'll see is the overshift. So you can overshift in a lot of different places. So I'll do an overshift in the shoulder and then an overshift in the hips, and we can see what that all looks like. So I'm going to do this one facing. So oftentimes this one happens when our bodies aren't quite strong enough to lift into our one arm. And so in order to get the weight off of this hands, we feel like we have to like keep shifting ourselves over. And that looks like and then it falls off the side, or it just simply becomes way too heavy on that shoulder. This one I really caution you on, because this is especially because the joint is really inactive, because we're lacking a little bit of strength to lift. This is a really dangerous shoulder position to compress, and it can have falls that go this direction, which means that your face is hitting the ground and you're tearing your shoulder apart. So we really do want to be quite wary of the overshift. We should always feel that we're reaching up in our one arm and not reaching over. So the next one is the overshift in the hips, and that's where my hips are trying to compensate for the fact that my shoulder can't press itself up, and they just slowly slide off. And that one basically just looks like a cartwheel. But you can see that my hips are trying to get over, but my body knows that it's not quite strong enough to support that whole weight. So even as my legs are tipping, you can see my hips are settling back to center. So my weight is staying centered the whole time. We're gonna do some shaping drills on the ground to work on being able to hold these tensions, this like lifting in our body, so that as we shift, we're keeping everything nice and elongated rather than these compression type things. Simply this one is really nice, where I'm just thinking about reaching my ribs nice and tall. My shoulders can raise a little bit. I have my pecs active. My belly button is pulled in. My abs aren't crunched. I'm not tucking my hips. I'm just standing. I have slight tension inward in my thighs. And I'm just going to lean over by pushing one of my toes straight. And you can feel, even though you can't see, the whole point is that you shouldn't be able to see any change in my body, but what I feel in my body is that as I go over, I sort of have to elongate slightly more through this hip, and I have a slight activation through this hip. I'm not compressing it down, but I am keeping it much stronger because now there's more weight. And over. Another really nice one. This one's a bit difficult for me right now because if you know anything about me, I recently shattered my foot, not so recently, 7 months ago, and my toes still don't quite tuck under because I've only been walking for 2 weeks now. So we're going to be nice and wide, and again, shoulders over hands, and instead of shifting my shoulders, I'm going to keep my shoulders as strong as I possibly can, release the tension, and try and reach one of my legs up and back down. I try to do it this side. I don't know if my left foot can support it. It can't, so I'm just thinking about trying to take some of the weight off of my right side. And you should feel this like very natural sort of cross body shift that you're not trying to control, you're simply trying to stabilize, and you're asking your body to stay stable and don't move. And so your body is trying to figure out the puzzle of what muscles to activate to make that happen. So instead of saying like you want to turn on, your left oblique 10% or whatever, try and watch yourself in the mirror or a video, and try and stay as stable as you possibly can. And then as you shift, watch. And if I'm lazy in one spot, then my shoulder will hike or I'll overshift. If this becomes easy for you, you can do the full reach away. Again, that I'm reaching away and long rather than hiking that shoulder up, and you can try and lift the legs doing that. Okay, so there was some warm-up drills for our shoulders to help shape that shoulder tension inward. We did some shaping drills for how to shift. Then we did some basics on how to simply work on, like, where do we start from, and those are those towel drills where we sort of went over and pulled the towel in tighter. The next one being like the pulling in the leg, and then the next one being to try to release some of the tension off of the opposite arm as we did all of those things. And then we went over some common problems that you should now be able to diagnose yourself if you review your video. And then some shaping drills to help keep our hips stabilized as we do those little shifts and tilts. So then there are some just fun exercises that help encourage our one arms, because like I said, the journey is long and grueling, and sometimes it feels fruitless. Like, it's not a linear path. It's not like every day will get a little bit better. Like, and it's just like, it can be emotionally traumatic. So here's some drills that you can do with blocks or with the chair. Just some ideas of fun ways to be encouraging your one arm that will have you enjoy the process instead of hating every moment of it. So I really, really recommend blocks for training one arms, blocks or canes, whatever you feel comfortable with. The reason our hand is just much stronger when our fingers are bent. There's a much more optimal joint angle to activate all of the muscles in our hands and our palm and our fingers, so you'll be able to balance significantly better if you use a block or canes. If you're not comfortable on those things and you're more comfortable on the floor, stick with what you know. I've just been working on these since I was a little girl, so they're obviously a little bit easier for me. So grab one of your blocks, and you're gonna just practice jumping into a handstand with one hand on your block. So you can keep the pressure even, doesn't matter. So we're in, and then we're just gonna bring the hand from the block down, and you can walk yourself out. Another variation on this, I'm going to borrow one of these, is to sort of do exactly the opposite, where I'm going to shift and reach my hand down. So we're up, and I'm just going to walk myself down to the floor and walk forward. I do want you to notice that I had to drop my shoulder just like we did it in these drills, but I also bent my elbow, and that's because we should be bending our elbows and our one arm, and if we always practice locked out, then we actually never train our bicep and become very weak. And so then when we do need to bend it, it'll drop real fast. So doing these like pretty small eccentric contractions where we're sort of bending down is a great way to start building that bicep strength in the handstand. This is my chair. I like it because it has this little lip, so I can grab onto it if I needed to, but I'm going to do my one arm, and I'm just going to reach my hand away, try and touch, and back to the floor. I found it. There it is. There's the chair. Okay, so I'm going to go to my fingertips, and I'm just going to reach away, back down. My fingertips, away, back down. I can also go up, hold, reaching for it nice and long, and practice my holds like that. That reach away is really important for keeping our pec, our opposite side pec on, which helps prevent that chest rising, that shoulder hiking. So I'm reaching away and then sort of pushing into the chair for my tension. And that also helps train the inside of my thumb to be quite active and strengthens this whole inner line, because I'm keeping my weight significantly more centered rather than tipping so far away. Our next drill is just going to be elbow touches. So I'm gonna kick him to a handstand, and I'm gonna touch, down, touch, down. I'm gonna try not to do the hip wiggle, which is very common, especially in gymnasts, because in gymnastics, you really never do a one-arm handstand, and your goal is always to keep your weight centered. It's awesome. But in hand balancing, we do have to hold those one arms. So as you go over, you're gonna try and allow yourself to be nice and tight like a stick. Tip, 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 rather than going the wiggle. All right, well, I hope that was helpful and informative and hopefully a little bit fun. One question that I often get is working one arms at a wall. And I actually do not recommend that at all, because one of the hardest parts of one arms is that twisting motion. It's really difficult, and what it takes is time. It takes time on one arm to practice. Doing one arms is a lot of falling out of one arms. And I always try and think of my motions like a ratchet. So if I go to my one arm and it starts to twist, don't freak out, but simply try and stop it from going any further. Don't try and bring the whole line backwards. Just try and stop it from going, apply enough opposite tension that it stops from moving anymore. And that's sometimes a good place to start with those. And if the idea of the one arm holds against the wall is, well, I need to strengthen my one arm, I completely agree. So we can do that all in either our push-up position or our tabletop position. And then we can strengthen the arm by loading it much more gently than putting the whole body weight. And then also in these fingertip shifts that we did, because that is a much slower, more gradual, you're putting maybe 10% more weight, all the way up until you have your full body weight onto the arm in a very gradual progression. We're never just throwing that arm out. There's no just dumping of your whole body weight, because think about how long it took for a baby to be able to walk. And when you walk, you bear your full weight on one foot. It takes them a really long time, because we're not just waiting for a technique to sit in. We're waiting for the technique to settle in. We're waiting for the muscles to build. We're waiting for the tendons and ligaments to strengthen. We're waiting for your bone density actually increases and your bone diameter increases. Your body has a lot to do when you're loading it so much, especially bones like your hands that are made for fine motor tasks, and now all of a sudden you're asking it to hold your whole body weight. So really do take one arms very slow, very cautiously, always thinking about staying on the fingertips until we can, shoulder press the weight off, and then falling back to the inside, back to our two arms. So we're really encouraging a really gentle progression and always a safe exit. So thank you guys so much for joining along, and enjoy the rest of the summit.
I don't think we got enough time to sort out all the fights, to sort out all the lies. Oh baby, yeah. There was a part of me that knew that, and still I'm caught by surprise. I thought you'd always be mine. I guess our dreams fell asleep. There's no passion in the comatose. Baby going down, 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 down. Baby going down, 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 down. Tried so hard to stay afloat. Yeah, we keep moving like the river goes. Baby going down, 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 down. Yeah. And I thought, it's time I'm letting you go. This time I know it for sure. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no. I got so high on a low. That's when I loved you the most. Now I thought I should let you know. Yeah, now, no words no more, no, no. Yeah.
Consistency. You want to be able to do the splits? Put in the time. You want to learn handstands? Learn the technique. You want to tumble? Commit to getting stronger. You don't become an athlete overnight. It takes practice, mental strength, physical dedication, and passion. You also don't have to be a kid to do gymnastics. These self-limiting beliefs only hold you back from reaching your true potential. Learn how to master mind, body, and spirit. We never start at the finish line. We practice over and over and over. But through all of this, never lose sight of your why. Gymnastics isn't easy. Remember why you started. Become a champion, train like a gymnast.
Hey guys! Ooh! Welcome to your stretching portion of this digital summit. Can I hear a heck yeah? Yeah! Actually, I need you guys to give me that again a little louder. I said, can I hear a heck yeah for the stretching portion? Ooh, yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's the response I was looking for. Beautiful, guys. Ooh, I'm so happy to be here with you. My name is Alexis. I'm a former rhythmic gymnast. I'm a fitness instructor, and I'm very excited to deliver you some stretching today. My specialty is helping people build flexibility. So guess what we're about to do? Guess. Just take a little guess. And you hit it right, the nail right on the head. We are gonna work on building that flexibility today, y'all, okay? So we're going to release these tight parts of our body, work on increasing our range of motion. This part is all about not forcing anything, okay? It's all about just letting go, relaxing so that we can get to that next level, okay, of our flexibility. You ready to work on this? I think you are, guys. So here's what we're gonna do. Grab some yoga blocks. If you don't have yoga blocks, guess what? Hey, don't worry your little head about that. You can grab some books, you can grab a chair, just something to give you some support in this workout, okay? Grab a band, something that just like has two sides, literally. It could be a towel, it could be a t-shirt, okay? Grab something like that. I'll be using a yoga mat in this one. You know, I'm on the grass, it can get a little itchy, right? So I'm gonna be using a yoga mat. I think you guys probably already have that with you. Okay, guys, so we're gonna get into it. We're gonna start with a little workout, just quick, like 5 minutes to get the blood flowing and heat your bodies up. I know you've already been doing a lot of amazing work today, but we wanna heat it back up after that little break, okay, so that we can stretch out real nicely, okay? So give me about five minutes of work and then we're gonna stretch. Sound good? Guys, I'm coming at you from beautiful Los Angeles, California. I'm at a park. I'm in like the foul ball area of a baseball field. So that's what I'm on. I hope you guys have a nice little setup wherever you are. Hopefully I don't get hit by a foul ball or something during this. Ooh, got the Vivo barefoot on, which is perfect for what I'm doing because I need something light that protects my feet, but not something bulky that's gonna weigh me down, okay? So it's perfect for this little situation I got going on. All right, y'all, let's get into it. So I'm gonna have you start up on your feet, okay? I'm gonna add a little music in here. All right, so if you're ready, let's go, y'all. Ooh, stand up for me. Hands on those hips. And just like that, perfect. And we're gonna send those knees up. Send them up. Yup, here we go. Woo, squeeze those abs, y'all. Yes, let's warm those bodies back up. Here we go. Let's go ahead and fold forward. Take it down for me. Stretch out the back of those legs. So soft shoulders, soft elbows. Excellente. Drop those hands to the floor, guys. And now bend those knees back and forth. Let's go for right and left. Soft shoulders, soft elbows. Yes, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, we are already loosening up. Take it tall for me. And now send those elbows down, send those knees up. Big arms, big legs. Yes. Woo! You guys have been working so hard today. Yes, keep it up. 3, 2, 1, and we're gonna jump. Take it to jumping jacks for me. Let's get those heart rates up right here. Woo! Let's go for 4. Here we go. And 3. Oh yes. And 2. And last one. Okay, send those arms wide. Rotate those toes open. We're gonna take it down and up. Sink it down and up. So open across the chest, guys. Squeeze those abs. Yes. Okay, press those knees back towards the shoulders. Let's stay low. Pulse it out for me. Relax those shoulders. All that work is in those legs. Yes, drop those hands to the knees. Stretch it out, take it to the right for me. So good. Stretching out that side body. Let's take it to the other side. Deep inhale, taking that refreshing air around you. Exhale. Beautiful. Back to center. Drop that right shoulder for me. Press those knees back. Open up those hips, baby. Open it up. Stretch it out. Other side. Yep, stretch it out. Stretch it out. Time to get loose, y'all. Time to get loose. It starts right now. And we go for the next half hour with it. Roll that neck out for me. 2 times to the right. Yep. Okay, and take it to the left. Here we go. 2 times to the left. Oh my gosh, my hair's in my face. Okay, so y'all, we're gonna take it down now. Plank position. Yes, planks. Yes, planks. We love it. Okay, start right here. Stack those shoulders over the hands. Tight abs. 1 minute of plank work, and then we rest. So here we go. Right foot up. You go point and flex. Yep. Yep. Point. Flex. Yes, you can, baby. Let's take it all the way through together. Now flex that foot. Pulse it up. Pulse it up. Just up, down, up, down. 3 and 2 and 1. Let's switch. Here we go. Point and flex. Yes. Point and flex. Last 30 seconds, y'all. Don't you stop. You got it. Flex that foot. Pulse it up. Pulse it up. Yes. Exhale. 4 and 3. Yes, so good. 2 and 1. Finish right here with me, for me with mountain climbers. Woo! Just find that beat. Feel the music. Keep it moving. 4. 8 more strong. 7 and 6 and 5. Keep going. 4 and 3 and 2. That's our last one. Woo! Lock it back in. Okay. I told y'all, we're gonna heat it up quick. We're gonna heat it up quick. I hope I'm not the only one breathing already. Let's send that left leg back. All right, find the lunge position. I want that knee stacked over the heel. I want both legs 90 degrees. You see that? We're gonna start by pulsing it out. Tight abs. All the work is in the legs right here, right now, guys. Okay, so upper body is so still. Shoulders are stacked over those hips. Yep. Okay, let's make it a little bigger. All the way up, all the way down. Yes. Woo! Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Say it back. Say it back. Yes, we can. 3, 2, 1. Stay low. We're gonna twist it out. I want you to go left and center. Find that center balance, guys. Stay right there. So tight in that core, so strong. Lighten up those legs, baby. Lighten up those legs. 3, 2, and we're gonna shift our weight forward. I want you to stack that knee over the heel. Tight abs, back leg. Here we go. I want you to pull that knee in, push that leg back. Woo! Bottom leg is so still. Bend that support knee. You better sink into it. If that glute is not firing, if that hamstring is not firing, I need you to get a little lower for me. 10 more strong, y'all. Let's go. Keep moving. 4, 3, 2, and uno. Switch it up for me. Here we go. Other side. Hips in square. Knee over the heel. Pulse it out. Exhale. Yep. Down, up. Danielle told me that you guys like to do pulses, so I made sure to add in a bunch for you. She was like, Lex, they love the pulses. Add in a lot of those. I said, okay. We have these conversations. I'm just kidding. Last 2. Last one, we're going to take it all the way up, all the way down. Woo! Hello, legs. You guys, last minute, and then we're going to rest. So I want you working this last minute with me. Yes, stay low. Oh my gosh, keep your belt twisted out to the right. Okay, right and center, right and center. We're gonna shift that weight forward. That back leg's gonna move. And 3, and 2, and 1. Send that weight forward. Back leg goes to work, yes. Woo! Pull it in, send it back. Get low in that support leg. Pull it in, send it back. Keep moving, y'all, keep working. Woo! Yes, yes you can, keep it up. You have 9, you have 8, 7, and 6. Get lower, lower, leg moves. Woo, I lost count, better start over. Let's go, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, my friends, guess what? We are done with our warm-up. Heart rates are up a little bit, yeah? Hopefully not just mine. All right, guys, we're gonna get into our stretches now. Thank you for being here. Oh man, so good. Okay, I'm gonna bring my yoga mat into the equation. You guys, during this stretching part, please take everything so slow. If you ever need to take a break, if you feel anything tingling, stinging, shaking, it's normal. You have to use your breath to get oxygen to your body, okay? And that's gonna help a lot. Okay, so let's get into it. Everything's so slow. Okay, mat is out. I like it like that. I'm gonna tilt this down a little more. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay. So my friends, start here for me. Okay, legs long, heels together, feet together. Hold that left foot. I want you to find your sit bones on the ground. I don't want you rolled back on that nice booty. I want you on the sit bones. You see that? Okay, we'll go straight and straight and back. So relax those shoulders, guys. And exhale as we lengthen that leg for 4 and 3. Oh yes. And 2. Press those bottom ribs forward. Last one. Bring it down. Let's cross that foot over that bottom leg. You see that? Bend that bottom leg. Let's release our glute a little bit here. So we want to press our chest in towards our leg. Rock it out, baby. Rock it out. Yep. Last 2. Last one. Let's straighten that leg out. I want you to glue your foot to the side of your knee. Just like that. And send those arms up. We'll take it forward. And lift a few times. Exhale. As we lean into that stretch, guys, I want you to come forward with your shoulders relaxed. Let's go ahead and hold right here. So if we can hold the toe. We can also hold the calf. I want you doing light bounces. So that means the chest goes down, lift, down, and lift. Light bounces so we can lean into that stretch, kind of find that limit on the bottom, hit it for just a second, and then ease off it. Exhale into it. Last 2. And let's go ahead and hold. Okay, guys, so the key here is I would rather see you not coming forward as far, but with your back kind of straight as opposed to really rounded, because this puts the stretch on the back. It does not put it on that glute, does not put it on that hamstring, which is what we're trying to access right now, okay? 4 and 3, deepen that incline for the last 2. Exhale, and 1. Let's switch it up, my friends. Other side, hold that foot. Here we go, let's go. Straight and bend, straight and bend. Exhale, straight. Exhale, straight. Okay, last 2. Yep. And last one. Bring it down. Cross that foot over that bottom leg. Bend that bottom leg. All right. Pressing those shoulders in towards that calf. And rocking it out, baby. Rocking it out. Elvis style. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Oh, yes. Woo, you guys will have to excuse the corny jokes. I just say them as they come to me. I can't control it. Okay, 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Let's straighten out that bottom leg. Glue that foot to that knee. And let's send those arms up nice and tall, guys. Lengthen through the spine. Let's go forward. And lift. And forward. And lift. Two more. Forward. And lift. And this last one, let's hold. Reaching for that toe. Small bounces right here. Okay? So every time, exhale as the chest goes down, up, down, up. And let's find that deepest incline and hold it. Okay. Exhale, guys, take an inventory. Are we squeezing our shoulders? Are we straining? As we exhale, our practice is to let go of that tension. Relax into the stretch and lean into it without resistance. 3, 2, and 1. Okay? And getting able to lean into the stretch without resistance, that's our practice. That's our lifelong stretching practice, okay? So we're in this journey together. Let's open to a straddle, my friends, okay? I just want you to be wide enough, whether that's here, wherever that is, until we feel tension in the inner thighs, all right? And let's walk into this one. Again, finding those sit bones on the ground. Let's send those arms up. And reaching to the right, and reaching to the left. Okay, lengthening through that side body, guys. Ooh, so nice. We're lengthening that inner leg right now by leaning into that stretch. Here's our last 2, and here comes our last 1. Beautiful. Bring it down. Okay, let's grab your band. Okay, and let's go ahead and lay it back. Couple times, let's do some kicks right here. So straight leg, you want to use that inner thigh to pull that leg up and put some weight behind it, guys. Put some weight behind it. So on top, we reach our limit, lengthening the back of the leg here. 3, and 2. Here's our last one. Grab your band, we're gonna hold it. Band around the foot. Okay, so, whoops. Relax your shoulders. Head is laying nice and heavy on the ground, and start to bend those elbows. And all of us are gonna have a different range, right? Whatever range we're working at is good as long as we're challenging ourselves. So if this is challenging for you and you're straining right now, I want you to just either bend your bottom leg, or you can add some elevation for the head. So a pillow or a block behind your head, that's gonna help you relax your shoulders as we hold here. Let's do 30 seconds, guys. This is my stretch for the day as well, so this is really nice. Let's just exhale. You can close your eyes. And again, taking in that refreshing air around you. Breathe it in, breathe it in. And as you exhale, just let that energy flow. We're not forcing anything, y'all. Let that energy flow. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's go ahead and switch it up. Give me those kicks on that left leg. Here we go. Let's do it. Up and down. Put some weight behind that leg. Beautiful. And feeling the lengthening behind that leg for 3, and 2, and 1. Here's where we hold. Bend around the foot. Again, bringing in our block if needed. Behind the head. Right? Maybe bending that bottom knee if necessary. Okay? Just getting that release for our bodies is what we're doing right now. Okay? And we're doing it safely. We want to do it the right way. That's most important. The better we get with our form, the more we're going to avoid injury. Oh, yes. Let's go for the last 10 seconds. Last 10 seconds, I want you to challenge yourself. Let go a little more. Send your breath down to that hamstring, down to that calf. Let your energy relax the back of that leg. The leg comes in a little closer. For 9, 8, and 7, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Dance it out. Shake it out. You know, we start to feel loose. We start to feel good. Just makes you want to like shimmy a little bit. Or is that just me? Maybe that's just me. Oh well. I have to take my moment to just shake it a little bit. Okay, enough of that. You guys, this is serious, okay? It's not just a joke, okay? So let's be serious and continue stretching. Jeez. All right, next up. Let's open those hips up a little bit, shall we? I think it sounds like a good idea. All right, guys, so meet me here. I'm gonna grab my blocks, place my elbows on those. So if you don't have blocks, guess what? Arms on the ground works, no problemo, okay? And meet me right here. I kind of started with on hands and knees. Knees in line with the hip. You see that leg is 90 degrees? Ooh! Yes, my math teacher, 9th grade math teacher would be proud. I know my right angles, I guess. So I took something from school, that's good. Okay guys, knee in line with the hip for me. We want to slowly shift our weight from those forearms, slowly back onto those hips. Okay? Yes, getting into it. I want you to tighten your core, guys. I don't want that back arch. I want you to drive that tailbone down towards the floor. And relaxing those shoulders, let's release those hips. Woo! Okay, so as we exhale, okay guys, pressing those bottom ribs in towards your spine. You feel that difference, right? When our back is arched, we don't feel too much stretch on our hips compared to when we tuck those bottom ribs in. That stretch automatically settles on those hips. Yes, yes. Okay. Get that release. Let's go ahead and stand up on the palms now. We're gonna add some movement. I want you to soften those elbows, relax those shoulders, squeeze those abs. We're gonna move the hips forward and sink it back. So the idea here is to let the hips sink a little lower to the floor as we move back. Ooh, release those inner thighs a little more here. Let's go for 3, and exhale back, guys. Inhale forward, exhale back. 2, inhale forward, exhale back. Last one, tilt the chin up. Soft shoulders, soft elbows, eyes up, chin up, hold to finish. Final push. Exhale, just relax the lower body, guys. Let go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh boy. Oh, hello, shake it out. Woo! Sometimes if we did it right, the hardest part can be getting out, okay? So take your time getting out of that one. Beautiful. Okay, my friends, let's give those little hips a break. Join me here, heels together, knees together. Grab your band. I want you to lean forward, band around the feet. Okay, this is a simple stretch, but it does so much to release our calves, the back of our legs. Maybe your shoulders are feeling tight right now, maybe that low back. Let's get rid of that. Let's start to loosen that. Let's release it. Okay, so again, I don't want you coming forward like this, right? That's just keeping that strain on the back. That's what we're working to get rid of so we can realign. Okay, so coming forward, bottom ribs first. Shoulders relaxed. Woo. And as we hold, again, we're not forcing anything, guys. Let that energy flow. And as we let that energy flow, that incline slowly increases naturally. We don't have to do anything. As long as we're not forcing, our body will naturally start to relax. And that's where we get that stretch. Okay, last 10 seconds. Deepen that incline, deepest incline for 9, 8, 7, 6. If you're really low, exaggerate your flex, challenge yourself. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! All right, y'all. So let's bring out the big guns. We've done a lot of stretches to get us ready for this. Let's take it to our middle splits now, my friends. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I want you to grab your blocks. If you don't have blocks, you have a chair, right? Okay, maybe the side of your couch works. Support yourself. I want you to rotate your toes outwards, okay? Outwards. So we want to make sure those toes are rotated wide so that we don't put the pressure on our knees. You see how when my foot's rotated forward, the pressure goes on my knees? No, no, no. We want to avoid that, y'all. So toes are pointed out. You can even flex your feet. That helps you make sure you're in that right position. You see, with the toes pointed towards the ceiling. Okay, so let's start to and feel. We're gonna just do 1 minute today. Nice and easy. Just kidding, just kidding. We're accepting that challenge for that 1 minute right here, okay? So let's get into it, guys. Clock is on. Here we go. And again, I know we're all working at different levels. We're good as long as we're challenging ourselves. Our goal is to get released for our bodies, and that point where we get released is going to be different for everyone, right? Okay, so 30 seconds. Exhale. Send that breath down to the lower body, you guys. Right? Most of us are, not all are closer here. Okay? I want you to exhale, send your breath down to the hips, down to the inner thighs, and just let go the best you can. Okay? Last 10 seconds. Let that breath out. Hold to finish. Hold to finish. For 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, 4, 3, 2, and you're crawling the hands forward to get out of that one. Let the knees fall to the floor. Woo! Shake it off. Okay, guys. Beautiful. We're getting towards our home stretch. Let's go ahead and shake that out. Okay. Let's do a little bit for our back. I want you to inhale, curve the spine. Exhale. Inhale, curve that spine. Exhale, beautiful. Two more. Pull that energy in through the rib cage. And one more time. Breathing in. Beautiful. Sit back on those heels. We're going to do some waves. Hold the hands behind your back. I want you to arch forward and you're going to roll up through the vertebrae. Let's go for 5 times. Arching forward. Rolling it up. And arch. Roll it up. Last one. Here we go. Arch, arch, arch. And let's roll it up through the vertebrae. Standing up on those knees. And we're going to send those arms back towards those heels. Now, if that's challenging for you, just hands on the hips. Okay? And small movements. Press those hips forward. Just 4 and 3. So good, guys. 2 and 1. Bring it up. Woo! Deep inhale. And let's go ahead and bring those hands forward. Inhale, curving that spine. Okay. So good. Go ahead and take your blocks. Let's send that right leg forward into our lunge now. Knee over the heel. Hips in square. We have our blocks. If we don't, we have our chair next to us. Send those arms up. Exhale into that back hip. Let's get that release right there. Arms by the ears. Okay, let those hips sink down to the lowest position. For 4 and 3. Good. Stretching tall. Energy through the fingers. Reaching up. Last one. Good. Arms down. Okay. Reaching for that back foot. Same arm, same leg. So that's your left arm. All right. Reaching for that back foot. And we want to challenge ourselves to press our hip forward. And keeping that knee stacked over the heel, guys. Hips in square. Releasing that back hip. Releasing that back quad. Woo! As bring that heel in towards that booty. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's shift that weight back. Front leg straight. And exhale. Folding forward. Relaxed shoulders. Relaxed elbows. Again, guys, you see the difference between that hunch and pressing those bottom ribs forward. Lead into that stretch. Release that calf. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bring it back. Bring it back. We're switching it up. Okay, guys, left leg, knee over the heel, hips in square, sending those arms tall. Woo. Beautiful. Send that breath down to that back hip. While your energy, relax that back hip. Hips sink to that lowest position, and we just hang out there. Okay, for 4 and 3. Yep, and 2, stretching tall. Last one. Bring those hands down. Reaching back, same arm, same leg. Pulling that heel in towards us. Ooh, boy. Ooh, baby. Okay. Pressing that back hip forward. Releasing that quad, releasing that back hip. Exhale. Try to keep that shoulders up, chin up, eyes up. 4 and 3. So good. 2. And let's shift that weight back. Front leg straight. Fold into it. Okay. Relax shoulders and elbows. Feeling that stretch through the calf, the back of the knees. Leaning into that. Yes. We're not forcing, relaxing into it. Letting your energy relax the hamstring, relax the calf. 3, 2, and let's bring it up. All right, y'all. We've been working up towards it. We are ready for our front splits. All right, so let's switch back to that right leg. We're gonna start here, holding your blocks or your chair, hips in square, front leg straight, and we're gonna start to slide that leg forward. We're gonna just do 1 minute on each leg here today, my friends. So let's make the most of this 1 minute. We're gonna rest really soon. So before that, let's keep our focus. We got this. Stack those shoulders over the hips. Yes, you can. I don't want you forcing anything, okay? Just kind of get those hips in square, find that posture. Watch that front leg. Sometimes it wants to squeeze, it wants to strain. If that happens, let's back off, straighten out, and exhale back into it. Okay, again, these shoes are so great right now, so perfect for this type of work, so light. For splits work, stretching work. Exhale, relax those shoulders, guys, relax those elbows. We're going into our last 20 seconds. Challenge yourself to now start to soften those elbows. Squeeze those abs, relax those shoulders. Last 10 right here. Just 9, 8, 7, 6. Exhale to that back hip. Exhale to that front hamstring. Just 3, 2, woo, and 1. So good. Shake it off. Let's go right into that left leg, guys. Okay. So front leg straight, hips in square, and here we go. Sliding into that split. Clock is on. Final push. Let's do it. Guys, stack the shoulders over the hips to the best of your ability, right? It's not about being perfect. If we're here, that's okay, but our practice is to try to start to stack those shoulders over the hips, get that alignment. You see that posture? So that's what we're working towards. Squeezing the abs, relaxing the shoulders, releasing that back hip. So good, so strong. Yes, we can, guys. Yes, we can. I know we started off saying it. It's still true right now. Yes, we can. Just let go. Let that energy flow. Last 30 seconds, guys. Okay. So soft shoulders, soft elbows. Start to challenge yourself to soften those elbows. Close your eyes. Find that limit on the bottom. Hang out there for this last 10 seconds, guys. Just 9, 8, 7, 6, and 5, and 4. Good. Just let go. Release. 3, 2, and we'll take it back on 1. Oh! Oh my gosh, you guys. Shake it out. So good. Okay. Woo! We're gonna finish right here. Just roll it out for me. Roll it out for me. Okay, touch those hips, feet over the head, relax the legs, relax the back. Just 3, 2, and woo! You guys, oh my gosh, it went by so fast, but we are all done. Round of applause for yourselves. Safe for social distance, high five. You guys, thank you so much for joining me. Again, my name is Alexis. You can find me on Instagram at RichHomieLex. I am doing virtual stretching classes every week, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 a.m. Tuesday and Thursday, 5:30 p.m. on Friday, and those classes are on Zoom. The link is in my bio for those. I also have an outdoor stretch class every Sunday at this park. If you're in LA, 12 p.m. I hope you can join me sometime. So guys, again, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to Danielle for having me on. This was so fun. Thank you to Vivo Barefoot. Shout out for the wonderful, perfect for stretching shoes, nice and light. All right, guys, I'm gonna jump off. So fun working with y'all. Take care. Sending you love and light going into the rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.
Hello. Wow. I haven't seen what I look like. I just put my hair up because you guys, all the instructors, killed it. That was such a fun summit. I just realized how short my hair is. I'm gonna bring it down. Definitely needed that. So give me a word for how you're feeling. What did you think? How was the summit for you? Was it your first one? Have you been to them before? How did it compare? Because this is our last one until October. So, because I know everyone is like in the northern hemisphere, the weather is better, so people are living their lives. So I wanted to give you guys the chance to, work out outside and hike and do life that way. And then as the weather starts to get a little poopier, then we'll go back into virtual stuff. Felt amazing. It was awesome. So relaxed. Want to have a dance party. I told you, Alexis brings the big energy. She has a lot of big energy. So Lisa Espizana, the shoes are Vivo Barefoot. They are, I was telling actually Mom about them. They are awesome. They're wide at the top, so they actually let your foot do what's natural for your foot. So when we wear regular shoes, they squeeze on the sides, and so when you step in Vivo Barefoot, it actually lets your feet spread and your toes spread. And they have they have tennis shoes, they have sandals like you saw Megan wearing in the one arm. They have sandals, they have boots, they have all sorts of different styles, and I'll show them to you now. So they've sent me so many different kinds. I'm just gonna bust them out for you. Okay, so these are all different pairs. So I love these ones just for like going outside of the house, taking the trash out, just like simple slip-ons. These ones are nice for actual training. They're tight and then they're really bendy. All of these shoes you can literally fold. Like that's how bendy they are. These ones don't really give you a blister because they're soft at the back. These ones are nice. They're a new color that they released, so they sent us something special. These ones are really also bendable. I like these. These ones are a little bit stiffer. I think these are the Primus Light. Both of these are the same, just different colors. And they feel like kind of plastic. But again, same kind of deal. I haven't worn these ones outside, so you can fold them up like that. They're super light, so they're great for gymnastics training. That's why we've kind of had Vivo as our sponsor, because we want Vivo to be kind of like the official shoe wear of Train Like a Gymnast. So if you want to train like a gymnast outside, you wear Vivos, so it feels like you're barefoot and you're not going to like damage and hurt your foot. So wasn't expecting to go off on Vivo, but I love them so much, and they're a really big supporter of ours, so I just want to thank them properly. And if you're in VIP, in your swag bag that you should have gotten this morning, there is a link to go to that. And there's a new link in the VIP swag bag for this summit for our new kind of like project Sleep Like a Gymnast. So go take a look inside there and see what you got inside. So in the VIP swag bag, there is a link and there's a discount code in there. I think it's a code. Yeah, it's a discount code in the VIP swag bag, vivobarefoot.com, and then just enter the code at checkout. And then if you have any questions about anything in there, let me know. If you haven't gotten that yet, check your spam and your promotions. But just as we wrap up, I know we didn't have as much time today for like the Q&A, but I just want to say, if you have loved being a part of this community, definitely would love to have you a part of our TLAG team. So the first two girls that you saw, Meg/Megan and Laura, are a part of our TLAG team, and we invited them to teach as part of this summit because they have something to offer. So if you have something to offer and you would love to teach either Instagram Lives or at a summit or be a part of a course, we've had our TLAG team members do all of those things. Just go to trainlikeagymnast.com/team and apply, and our team will take a look and lurk you a little bit and see if you're a good fit. And that's the first way you could get involved if you qualify and you're eligible. The next thing is we would love to have you at our retreat. I know it's a little bit weird this year, but if you are on the West Coast and you're able to drive to Lake Tahoe, that might be a better option. We have some girls flying, but if you're able to drive, it just makes it less chaotic and it's not as far and you feel safer, that whole thing. It's going to be a smaller, more intimate group than the one that you saw in the promo video, because that one was 10 and that was Hawaii. So that was a bigger retreat. That's our normal retreat. Hopefully we can get back to that next year. I hope to do 3 next year. But for this year, our Lake Tahoe Summit is the last one we'll be doing. Workshop is postponed indefinitely, so keep an eye out for that post-COVID. And then what else do we have here? Please reach out to all of the instructors and all of your emails on the YouTube page below. I have the links to their Instagrams, and then pretty much all of the promotional materials, you can get a hold of them. If you forget somebody, just DM us and we can send you their handle. And I just want to thank again Vivo, our 5-minute journal, everybody who donated to the swag bags, Tumble Track as well. If you're a gymnast, you know that brand well. But that's pretty much it. If you guys have any other questions, just DM us. And I hope you were filming yourselves. You were able to take videos or time lapses or something and then tag us on Instagram. We love seeing it because like YouTube Live, we can't see you like Zoom. So the only way that we're able to see your progress, your wins, how you like the summit is if you tag us and share your wins and progress with us. Keep an eye out for the replay as well as a feedback email. So we send out a survey for you to let us know how you liked it. It's anonymous, so don't worry about that. And then the replay will be coming, I believe, in about an hour or two. So check your emails for that for 24 hours or 7-day access. Thank you so much for being on and attending and registering and taking the time out of your day to be a part of our community. It means a lot to me, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody. Train with purpose.